Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Welcome to the Tucson Arena, where the number 7 Arizona Wildcats will take on the Antelopes of Grand Canyon University. Hi, everybody. I'm Timothy Gasson, and Happy New Year. I'll be bringing you tonight's action along with my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. So, this is the second of a two-game series between Arizona and Division II Grand Canyon. Just like the beginning of the second semester last year, Grand Canyon shocked Arizona last night. A big 4-2 victory for the Antelopes here at the Tucson Arena. Well, last year Arizona responded by scoring 15 goals the next night against Grand Canyon to show who was the boss in their own home building. Let's see what happens here tonight. This is a different Grand Canyon team and a different Arizona team, but the situation is very similar. Arizona was embarrassed by their performance last night on home ice against Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon played a good game, led by Michael Barabash, their goaltender, who really stood on his head, had a wonderful game, made numerous game-saving kinds of saves. But also, Arizona only had a couple practices entering that game, and you could tell they were a little rusty. They hit a lot of posts. They had a lot of open nets that they shot the puck wide. Well, they have a game under their belt now in the second semester. They've got to get better quickly, and they've got to get better tonight. Because as I said last night, the competition gets much, much stiffer from here on out for Arizona, especially here at home. Next weekend, we have University of Nevada, Las Vegas coming to Tucson. That will be a Saturday afternoon game at 1 p.m. and then a Sunday afternoon game at 4 p.m. So note that, different from our regular 7:30 p.m. nighttime games, UNLV next Saturday at 1 p.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. The officials have now taken the ice. We're waiting for the Antelope and the Wildcats to take the ice. Then we'll have our starting lineups and national anthem, and then we'll get ready for tonight's game. What I love about in college hockey about these two-game series is that whichever team lost the first game gets a chance at instant redemption on the second game. That instant redemption chance is for Arizona. You can imagine they were upset after last night's 4-2 loss to Grand Canyon. A somber-looking group. They talked for a long time in the locker room about last night's performance and what they need to do to improve and compete in the second semester. I'm very interested to see what they come out here with, especially in the first period. I expect a much more spirited effort from Arizona. As we talked about in the broadcast last night, it's very difficult to have several weeks off and then get your timing back, get your mojo back. Arizona performing so well at the end of that first semester, off for almost a month, and then just not able to replicate that kind of energy and expertise last night. Well, Grand Canyon was off for a break too. They only had a couple practices before that game. They performed, did what they needed to do, scored big goals against Anthony Shuro, Arizona's #1 goaltender. I expect that he's going to get another chance in goal here tonight to prove himself. He's an excellent goaltender. I expect a much better game out of Anthony Shuro here tonight, and I expect a much better game out of most of the Wildcats. Okay, let's send it down to ice level for the introduction of the players, our national anthem. Then we'll drop the puck between number 7 Arizona and Grand Canyon University. You are watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, your Wildcats take on the Antelopes from Grand Canyon University. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Antelopes. Starting at left wing, number 28, Noah Casio. At right wing, number 91, Brendan Bouvier. At the center position, number 9, Luke Wilson. At left wing, number 6, Steven Spencer. At right defense, number 11, Drew Cronin. And in the nets today for the Antelopes, number 31, Michael Norris. The head coach is Daniel Waugh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and here is the starting lineup for your hometown hockey team, the Arizona Wildcats. Starting at left wing, number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. At right wing, number 12, Chris Westland. At the center position, number 11, Bailey Marshall. At left defense, number 24, Keelan Olnick. At right defense, number 20, Manny Rowe. And in the nets tonight for your Wildcats, number 35, Nolan Bimelsick. Head coach of your Wildcats is Chad Berman. Assistant coaches Toppy Hogan and Shane Fossell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats and face the south goal for our national anthem, which is sung tonight by Jake Walters.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, what a wonderful version of the national anthem there. That is a really difficult song to sing if you've ever tried to sing the national anthem. It is a very difficult song to sing. That was a wonderful rendition. So we're ready to drop the puck here. And, you know, as I bring in Jackson Peters, my broadcast partner, I guess I shouldn't speculate about goaltenders because I'm wrong times two. It's Nolan Bimelsick getting the call for Arizona. And it looks like Michael Norris in the net for the Antelopes. Both coaches giving different goaltenders the opportunity here at the Tucson Arena. I'm a little surprised by that. Michael Beerbash played so well last night, but maybe both coaches are giving other players a chance to step up. What do you think about that move?
Yeah, I think it's the right move for both teams. I mean, Michael Beerbash last night, he stood on his head. I mean, you got to give the kid a break, and plus you got to think, you know, that's a huge win for his team. So, you know, I think Coach Roy is thinking, you know, if Beerbash wins last night, loses here tonight, you know, it kind of tarnishes how excellent that win was last night. And for Coach Berman, you know, after the loss last night, you know, you said they were shaken up. You got to try something different.
So Michael Norris in the net for the Antelopes. And Nolan Bimelsick, who's a fine goaltender. I mean, Arizona is an embarrassment of riches in goal. Bimelsick and Shure are really 1 and 1A. So Nolan, a fine young goaltender in his own right, gets the chance here to get Arizona back in the winning column. We're just underway here at the Tucson Arena between number 7 Arizona and the Grand Canyon Antelopes. As we said, Arizona needs to avenge last night's output as the puck comes in front. And that's tipped. Oh, Anthony Cusinelli just missed an open net. Norris already down, and twirling around a couple times. Arizona is coming out with more energy than they had last night. Arizona 4-2 losers last night here at the Tucson Arena to Grand Canyon. They want to wash that taste out of their mouth. Grand Canyon, a lot of confidence. Hey, they think that maybe they can go for a sweep here tonight. So I think this is going to be a highly spirited contest between two highly motivated teams. As we mentioned before, the Antelopes just 11-9-3 on the season. Arizona 17-4. Their first home loss of the season was last night here at the Tucson Arena against Grand Canyon, echoing what happened last year in the first game of the second semester. Well, let's see if Arizona can also repeat what happened in the second game of the second semester last year. Arizona putting up 15 goals against Grand Canyon in a big win. But we're just underway here in the first period, and we're scoreless, just 1:20 into the game. And Jackson, I think this first 5 minutes, especially for Arizona, could be very telling.
Especially when you look at last night, you know, how they didn't start out as strong as, you know, Wildcats fans might have hoped. So I think it's really important for them to really start out strong and, you know, carry that intensity all the way through the game. I think that was part of GCU's success last night, is how they were able to play a flat game, and I mean that in a good way. They were very consistent through 60 minutes last night.
Boy, Arizona's speed is so much better than it was in last night's game already, but they give up the puck, and here comes a breakaway for Declan Carter. He shoots and he scores. Declan Carter on the breakaway comes in and shoots and scores on Nolan Bivelsic.
And that's a real tough one to give up right now. Tim, you know, that starts with a bad break. You know, you give it up on the blue line. So, I mean, it's a difficult thing you're going to have to deal with. That's not how the Wildcats wanted to start the game. But unfortunately, that's just going to how they're going to have to do it.
So, exactly what Arizona did not want to see. Just a minute and 53 into the game, Declan Carter scores for the Antelope, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Scored by number 15, Declan Carter. That is Declan Carter at 1 minute 53 seconds in the first period.
So Declan Carter with the early goal, and Arizona is behind again. Arizona winning wearing its alternate third jerseys, brand new jerseys, first time they've worn them. Have a beautiful crest on the front with the saguaro. The Cats try to cut in front of Michael Norris. The puck goes to the far side. Yeah, these are jerseys, 40th anniversary jerseys for Arizona with a new crest with a saguaro and the A on them. As puck comes in on Bivs, he makes a save and will have a face-off. Be interesting to see how often they wear these third jerseys. You know, I'm old-fashioned, Jackson. I'm used to home teams wearing white jerseys.
Yeah, this is what classic hockey fans like you and I like. We like to see the white at home, the colors on the road. So I think this is the nice change up from the grays that we've seen so much. But also, you know, we just have a great jersey lineup here in Tucson.
I'm a big jersey fan, collect jerseys. You know, so many hockey fans love how unique hockey jerseys are. Arizona has a good third jersey. Let's see if their performance can live up to the design of their new home jersey. Giving up a breakaway and a goal early in this game. You know, they were using their speed and they kind of got caught in the Antelope zone with all that speed. If you don't keep the puck in the zone and it gets out quickly, a skater like Declan Carter can break with it, and there's another tip in front of the net that goes behind. Can break out with it, and he buried that puck for the early lead for Grand Canyon. Now it's a test of concentration for Arizona. Yeah, they wanted to come out in this first 5 minutes and play well. It's a 60-minute game, and they just have to be steady and turn those frowns upside down. Just 3.5 minutes into the game, but Grand Canyon with a 1-0 lead, trying those stretch passes. Keelan Olnick picks up the puck. He had a goal last night for Arizona. Sends it up the near side boards. It's going to come down. It might go far enough for icing. Yes, this is going to be an ice on Arizona, and the puck will come back into the Arizona end of the ice. A very grumpy Wildcat squad after last night's game, as you might imagine. They need to wipe that out of their mind and play some good hockey here.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do, and unfortunately for them, it's hard to wipe that out of your mind when you let up a breakaway that leads to a goal. You know, you're already down by 1 goal, and you're only 4 minutes into this game here, Tim.
Yeah, we talk about Arizona being the faster, stronger team. Antelope's a Division II team. Well, Declan Carter looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. And at any level of hockey, that's a fantastic play. As we mentioned, Grand Canyon will join Division I in the American Collegiate Hockey Association next season. And they certainly are proving that they belong at the Division I level. Budding rivalry here between the Antelope and the Arizona Wildcats. That should be good for many years to come. And that's just good for hockey in the state of Arizona. Of course, Wildcat fans want to see Arizona play and beat the Antelope. They did earlier this year in Phoenix to start this season. Arizona off to that great first semester. Well, they need to recapture a little bit of that magic as Carter almost had another break in front of Nolan Bivelsick. The puck comes in on Bivs. He gives up a rebound, but the Cats recover, come up with the puck. Well, this is not the first 5 minutes that Arizona was looking for. The Antelopes playing with a heck of a lot of confidence, showing some speed and skill that, frankly, they didn't show a lot of speed in last night's game. They didn't have to. They buried every opportunity they had. They maybe had 4 good scoring chances, and they had 4 goals off of them. Well, they had 1 good scoring chance in this game. Just 4 minutes or 5 minutes and 10 seconds into it, they've had 1 good chance and they have 1 goal. So we'll have a face-off just outside the Grand Canyon line. Cats win it, move it over to Cam Armstrong on the near side. We should see a few new faces in the lineup tonight as Grand Canyon comes in, sends a high riser. I think that may have glanced off of Nolan Bivelsick and went out of place. We'll have a face-off in the Arizona zone. We should see a few new faces. I think Sahil Ahuja could play tonight. I believe making his Wildcat debut, a freshman. Hasn't had an opportunity yet. And take a look and see if we see number 3, Sahil Ahuja, a freshman out of California, I believe.
And Tim, you know, some of those guys that haven't seen the ice yet for the Wildcats, it's really important for them to do that now because, you know, as you head into a national run, you know, what your team's wanting to do, you need everybody on your team to be able to compete. You hope for the best, but, you know, sometimes guys won't be able to play, you know, with injuries and everything. So it's good to have everybody able to play in a game scenario.
And right on cue, it was Sahil Ahuja pick up the puck and move it out of the zone. Puck comes back in and Bivelsick makes the save. That was Trey Green getting planted by an Arizona player. He just takes a number, points at his opponent, and goes to the bench. That's a smart play on his part. There's plenty of action to get back at his opponent for that hit that was right at the whistle. No use taking a silly penalty now, so we'll have a face-off. Here in the Arizona zone to the right of Nolan Bivelsick. I am surprised that Bivs is getting the start here tonight, but he needs to get into shape for this second semester as well. A fine goaltender. You know, Coach Weirman has ultimate faith in Anthony Shuro. Last night's game was certainly an aberration compared to the kind of performance that we're used to seeing from Anthony Shuro. And we have a delayed penalty now on Grand Canyon. Arizona's going to go to the power play. 6 minutes and 6 seconds into this first period, Arizona will go on its first power play. Arizona was not very efficient on its power play last night. Jackson, that's yet another area that they need to improve on here tonight.
Yeah, especially when we look at how important special teams was last night. There were a lot of goals scored on the power play for both teams, so Arizona really needs to start capitalizing on their power play chances if they want to beat not only GCU, but some of these more difficult, higher-ranked teams in the ACHA.
Cats win the faceoff. Up to Ben Jones.
2 minutes of slashing time of the penalty. 6 minutes, 6 seconds in the first period.
There's a shot and a goal! A backhander and a goal. Arizona is going to even this game up. Puck went down low, and it looked like Chris Westland Good determination, found the puck at the post and knocked it in. That's a big goal by Chris Westland, the junior. And we're all even. Boy, Jackson, that could be a little bit of an energy boost to that Arizona bench.
Yeah, it's one thing to score on the power play, but it's another thing to do it so quickly as the Cats just did.
So we're all even. Arizona taking advantage of the power play. Good gritty play by Chris Westland as Anthony Shiro comes in. And
So Wildcat goal, give it to number 12, Chris Westland. The assist goes to number 11, Bailey Marshall, and number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. That's Westland from Marshall and Cusinelli. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 6 minutes, 16 seconds in the first period.
he shoots. He scores. Chris Westland with the big power play goal. And you know, we were talking about last night, we didn't see enough kind of gritty play down low from the Wildcats, Jackson. Some of those greasy goals, some of those hard-working kind of goals. Chris Westland holding his ground right at the post, digging for that puck and put it in. I think that's the kind of goal that could really get Arizona going.
Yeah, I mean, they can't all be pretty, Tim. You know, we have some guys on this squad, you know, like Cusinelli, that can really rip the puck, but we saw it last night. They're hitting posts, so what you got to do is get those dirty, greasy goals right in front of the net. You got to crash the net. Just fight for the puck.
Yeah, that's focusing your energy in a really positive way there by working down low. You know, it's not easy to stay in those scoring areas. Your opponent doesn't want you there. He's going to move you out of there. You're going to pay a price for being there. You have to really want to be there. Chris Westland with some really nice effort there on the power play, and we're all even now. And the hitting is picking up. Manny Rowe with a big hit there. And the Cats pick up the puck. You know, this game, like all good, well-contested, evenly played hockey games can come down as Bivelsic makes a good, sure save into his body. Can come down to who's smart enough to stay out of the box.
Yeah, that's going to be a real big thing here tonight, Tim. Like I said, you know, special teams was really important last night, and I expect the same thing here tonight, especially for GCU. When they go on the power play, that really gives them an upper hand to, you know, combat this amazing speed that the Wildcats have.
You know, I'm seeing a close-up here of these new third Arizona jerseys. I have to compliment goaltending coach Shane Fossell, who helped design and get these made. They are beautiful. As a jersey guy and a, you know, 3-decade Arizona hockey guy, I got to say these are smoking hot home jerseys. Now let's see if Arizona can light the lamp a few more times and make them good luck jerseys. Here as we're all tied up almost halfway through this first period. Cats need to be careful with the puck as Joey Trapp goes for it in the near side corner. But he gives it away. Arizona can be prone to giving that puck away within that 10-15 feet of the blue line, something they need to work on. They'd been better at it in the first semesters. There's a shot that luckily goes wide. It looked like Bivs was screened there, but it luckily went wide. You know, some younger players, some newer players getting some playing time as Dawson Marshall steals the puck. Right back to Marshall. He sends it, doesn't get quite through, but a lot of traffic there in front of Norris. Michael Norris, not as large a goaltender as Michael Barabash, 20 pounds lighter and 3 inches smaller. Has played in 4 games, and he's 2-1 with a 3.72 goals against average. He makes the save and throws it off to the corner, comes out to center ice. There's a good shift by Arizona as Cam Armstrong picks up the puck. Grand Canyon's going to go for a change, and they send it down low. 9.5 minutes into this first quarter, evenly played. We can't expect every second game to be a 15-goal outburst like it was last year. This is a different team, a different season, and this Grand Canyon team looks like it's ready for Division I play. I'm really surprised they're just 11-9-3 on the season, playing in Division II. Well-coached hockey team, giving Arizona everything they can handle.
Yeah, Tim, this team, they've really showed, a lot of determination. I was talking to Coach Roy before the game, and he said, just the level of determination that this team has compared to last year is totally different. He said, some of the guys last year, once they won that first game, they were, kind of happy with it. But he said here today, they want to come here and win 2 games on the weekend. They're not satisfied with 1.
Well, and you can tell. You can absolutely tell that, to save money, Grand Canyon, teams don't stay in hotels overnight in Tucson for the second game anymore. It costs a lot of money to put 30 to 40 people up in a hotel. They get in the team bus and go back home to Phoenix, then come back the next day. You got to conserve your energy if you're doing that. You can't go out and party and celebrate your win. Wow, there's another rocket from Chris Westland that somehow missed the mark. You got to go home and get ready for another contest and get your mind straight. Boy, Declan Carter really playing well here so far in this game, skating well. And get ready for this, and you can tell the Grand Canyon has. 11 minutes gone now in the first period. We're tied 1-1 between Arizona and Grand Canyon. And a shout out to Eric Holton, former goaltender of Arizona. He runs okgoalie.com. He calls himself the world's okayest goalie, which I think is fabulous. Has a great sense of humor. And he just dropped off some 40th anniversary Wildcat coasters here that are made out of pucks hollowed up and then they're hollowed out and then there's cork in the bottom. 40th anniversary University of Arizona coasters. This is beautiful. Thank you to Eric Holton. What a great Arizona and Tucson hockey guy he is. Still plays in the men's league here in Tucson. Eric Holton also, was signed by Tucson's former pro team, the Gila Monsters, a little more than 20 years ago. And now he's the world's okayest goalie. Play continues on, and icing is waved off here as it was tipped. It comes through the crease, and Arizona picks it up. That's Jake Dickinson with the puck. Dickinson trying to move up ice. Takes a little slap there from an Antelope. And there, Dawson Marshall was able to get a shot off. Thought there might be a 2-minute penalty. Perhaps. Oh, and I'm right. I thought he may have earned a penalty there. Dawson Marshall being taken down while getting the shot off, and indeed, he's rewarded. Noah Cassio is going to go to the box for Grand Canyon, and Arizona is going to go on its second power play of the period. Good work there by Dawson Marshall, the younger brother of Bailey Marshall, the leading scorer of Arizona, to draw that penalty. And now Arizona will have 2 minutes of a man advantage and a face-off to the left of Michael Norris. Let's see if they can set up in the offensive zone and get some shots. As Kevin Bird sends it down low, another one of those young Wildcats getting more ice time. Check that. That was Ben Jones here on the near side.
Grand Canyon penalty on number 28, Noah Cassio. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of that penalty, 12 minutes, 30 seconds in the first period, and gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
So the shot goes out of bounds, out of play rather, and we'll start over to the right of Michael Norris. Cats win the faceoff off to Jones. Doesn't have a shooting lane. Sends it to the far side. Now cross ice to Bailey Marshall, and he missed the puck off the heel of his stick. And there's Jones having to come back for the puck. Nolan will save it for him, and Jones will head back up the ice. Over to Bailey Marshall, over the line. Justin Dungy sends it behind the net. Comes back to the near side, that's Cusinelli. Over to Marshall, he doesn't have a shooting lane though. Oh, and he loses the puck. The Grand Canyon just sends one in. It's blocked off by Nolan Bivisic. Biv's playing well here in the first period for Arizona, and they need some good goaltending play. As the Cats come in over the line, still with the man advantage for 45 seconds. Goes back to Manny Rowe. And, oh, that went off the post. Another one, Manny Rowe with a nice soft kind of shot pass. But there wasn't a Cat on the far post, and it dinged off the post. We remain tied 1-1 with 25 seconds to go on the power play for Arizona. But so far, Jackson, they just look a little sharper than they did last night.
Yeah, I think they realize what happens against this GCU team if you don't come out strong.
Manny Rowe with the puck. Down to 10 seconds to go on the power play. Grand Canyon doing a good job of taking away those shooting lanes from Arizona on that power play, and we remain scoreless. The penalty is up. This was one of the strengths of Grand Canyon's game last night. They were able to keep Arizona to the outside a bit, block up those shooting lanes. As the Cats come in over the line and offside. .5:12 to go in the first period. We're all tied up with the Antelopes. 1-1. This is more the kind of game I was expecting. After last night's kind of lethargic effort from Arizona. Grand Canyon playing with a lot of confidence as puck comes right out into the slot, bounces off of Norris, and now Grand Canyon comes back the other way. Grand Canyon working with some better speed than they were last night. They only had a couple practices before last night's game. As the Cats now break up. A little bit of back and forth hockey here. Oh, there's some space for Declan Carter, and he just missed the far post. Carter really playing well here tonight. The puck comes out to center ice, and Grand Canyon will have to exit. Cats regroup in their own end. We're all tied up 1-1 with 4:05 to go in the first. Well played hockey game. I think that's going to be nice on Arizona. It is. We'll come right back down in front of Nolan Bivisic.
Be sure to join us next Saturday at 1 p.m. as your Wildcats battle number 12 UNLV.
So as our PA announcer Joe Pirates is telling the crowd here, it's the UNLV Running Rebels. Next Saturday at 1 p.m. here at the Tucson Arena, and then Sunday at 4 p.m. Arguably one of the very best teams in the West, UNLV. This puck isn't going to go far enough for icing, so the Cats dig for it. Dawson Marshall digging for it there. Big games for Arizona next Saturday and Sunday. But even though this doesn't affect the rankings or the Western Collegiate Hockey League, this is a big game for the mentality of the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, especially when you consider what happened last year when they dropped that first game. You know, that arguably affected, the next, 2 months of the semester. That affected the rest of the season. So I think the Cats recognize that, and they really want to take control of not only this game, but the rest of their semester starting tonight.
Sahil Ahuja getting another shift here. And you can tell it's going to take him a little time to get up to the speed of this game. Just a freshman playing his first game as a Wildcat. This is incredibly good experience for him. Arizona's going to need to build some depth in the second semester, especially on defense. So this is really important playing time for a freshman like Sahil. Manny Rowe has the puck at the line. Back to Keelan Ulnick, and it's deflected out of play. I really like this defensive pairing of Keelan Ulnick and Manny Rowe for the Wildcats. They seem to complement each other well, especially since Keelan Ulnick has grown more confident this season with the puck, and Manny Rowe has been a little bit more careful with the puck. I think they're an interesting combination for Arizona.
I think it's a great matchup, and I think they, like you said, they complement each other really well. And they both bring a lot of speed to the defensive pairing.
Yeah. And they're getting better. We forget that this is a young hockey team. Manny Rowe, just a junior. And Keelan Olnick, just a sophomore. He's going to be one heck of a hockey player for Arizona by the time he's done. There's a tip in on Michael Norris, who's played well here for Grand Canyon. Just 2:13 left in this first period. We're all tied up 1-1. Good hockey game on a Tucson Saturday night. It just doesn't get any better than Tucson, Arizona, what they call winter, which is not winter, and an ice hockey game on a Friday and Saturday night. Not quite sure what the delay is as Grand Canyon switches out a player, gets ready for the faceoff to the right of Michael Norris. Better crowd on hand here tonight on Saturday night. You know, Jackson, I think that played a part in last night's game. There wasn't much of a home atmosphere last night because the students aren't back in session. It was probably the smallest crowd of the year for Arizona.
Yeah, that's definitely a weird feeling as a player. You know, if you play for this Cats team, you're used to playing in front of a ton of fans here at the TCC. Well, there's no fans in Tucson to come to the game right now. So I think next weekend, you know, when the students are back, I expect a much larger crowd, but I definitely think you're right, Tim. That played to the strengths of GCU. They played in a quieter environment.
Well, and, you know, coaches and players will all say they have to play with their own inspiration, that, you know, motivation needs to come within. It can't come from a crowd. But they also, I think, would just be telling a lie. I mean, I've talked to generations of Arizona hockey players. They call this the show. When we have 4,000 and 5,000 people in the building, it absolutely makes an effect on how you play. When you're the home team and you feel that throbbing support for you, especially when Arizona State here is in town, it can make a huge positive difference. We're down to the last minute 10. Arizona breaks in. Can they get around to the puck? There's a good poke check there by Andrew Cronin for Grand Canyon. Now stick around, Cats fans, because we'll have a video package of highlights and interviews, everything you want to know about University of Arizona Wildcat hockey between the first and second period. That's between the first and second period, and 56.5 seconds right here on Arizona Wildcat hockey. I mean, I've seen, Jackson, in the past year, standing room only crowds of 7,000 people against NCAA Division I teams that Arizona has beaten, and those NCAA Division I teams wanted to leave the ice and go away. I mean, they had never experienced anything like that. So it obviously can make a big difference. It also can make a big difference on a team like Grand Canyon that's used to playing in front of very small crowds. Larger crowds can be more difficult for them to play. Well, I don't think much of that comes into play here tonight. The crowd is larger, but not up to Arizona's usual standards. That motivation is going to have to come from within for this Wildcat squad. And now I talk about it all the time, Jackson, about that last minute of play. You can't give up a goal, especially in a tight 1-1 game here. So we have a face-off to the left of Michael Norris in the Grand Canyon zone. Switch out a player in the dot. Cats win it. Here's Anthony Cusinelli in another pass. A backhander to goal! Bailey Marshall! Exactly what the doctor ordered. First, Cusinelli hits the post. Then Marshall with the backhander. Bailey Marshall, the leading scorer of the Arizona Wildcats, gives Arizona a big 2-1 lead with 29.7 seconds to go in the first. This is exactly what the Arizona Wildcats needed. Bailey Marshall, their top guy, their top scorer, finding that puck and roofing it on the backhander. Beautiful goal by Bailey Marshall. Cats lead 2-1.
And that's what happens when you hang around the net. You're looking for rebounds. Unfortunately for Cusinelli, he rimmed it off the post, but Marshall was there.
Bailey Marshall! the assist goes to number 14, Cully Olson. That's Marshall from Olson. Time for your Wildcat goal, 19 minutes, 31 seconds in the first period.
He shoots. He scores. Bailey Marshall with the goal assist to Cully Olson, of course, the brother of former captain of the Wildcats, Orion Olson. The talented Olson hockey family represented again here on the roster with Cully Olson, just a freshman. What a big goal as we end the first semester, or the first period of play rather, between Grand Canyon and Arizona.
With 11, Arizona with 14. The score after one complete period of play here at the Tucson Convention Center Arena. It is your Arizona Wildcats 2, Grand Canyon 1.
So Arizona with 14 shots on goal, Grand Canyon with 11, an evenly played period, but that is a big lead for Arizona to go up 2-1 late in that period, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, goals in that last minute, they're heartbreaking for the team to get scored on. But that is a humongous morale booster for the Cats to be able to score that goal, especially when they had so much difficulty with the posts, hitting the post last night. So for them to, hit the post and then get the rebound, Bailey Marshall's able to put it in, that's really a good feeling to bring into the locker room right now.
So that's going to be a little bit of a different feeling in the Arizona locker room than they had at the end of the game last night. At the end of one period of play, Arizona 2, Grand Canyon 1, a well-played period. Let's see if Arizona can crank it up now. Now, Wildcat fans, stick around because we're going to have a video package of highlights and interviews and everything to do with Arizona hockey coming up right now, and then we'll have the second period of play. You are watching University of Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Wildcat Hockey is back home. Save up to 20% with UofA Hockey's new Flex Pack options, with access of up to 12 UA games this season.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Don't miss out. Flex Pack tickets are available at TCC box office or call in 791-4101. That's 791-4101. Supporting a UA hockey team just got easier with our new Flex Pack ticket plans. For more information, please visit ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
I'm Timothy Gasson. They call me the AZ Puck Man. I've been following hockey at the University of Arizona for more than 30 years. And this is my Wildcat Hockey Report.
Welcome to another Wildcat Hockey Report. Let's send it over to Victor Garcia with a very special video feature.
Thank you, Tim. I'm here with Anthony Cusinelli, captain of the UA hockey team. So, Anthony, we get to see you play out here on this ice from the stands. We get to see the action, you taking your shots for your goals, amazing stuff. Tell me, what is it like? What is the sensation of skating, feeling the ice beneath you? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling. I mean, I'm kind of used to it by now. I've been skating since I was about 5 years old. I fell in love with the game when I was that young, and I still have the same feeling every time I skate.
And it must be a weird feeling knowing that there's other people on the ice. They all want the same thing. What is it like to know that there's other people out there trying to stop you from doing your thing out on the ice?
Yeah, it kind of seems like there's a lot of traffic at sometimes. There's 5 guys on your team, 5 guys on their team, and you don't have much time to think. And when you get the puck, you got to make a quick decision, and you don't have as much time as you think when you get the puck, and you kind of have to think on your toes and know what you're doing before you get the puck.
With all that gear you have on, people don't know that you have a lot of those gloves going on, you have all those pads on you. How does it feel to feel that end of the stick with those thick gloves? Like, do you feel the puck when it comes to you?
Yeah, it's a different feeling. You kind of try to keep your head up when you have the puck, but you can definitely feel every little stick handle. Whenever you have the puck, you can feel it. When you're about to shoot, I can feel the momentum in my hands moving, and yeah, you don't really realize how much that goes into it, but I feel everything when I'm out there.
You and a lot of other players take a lot of brutal punishment. What is it like to feel your face pressed against this gnarly glass?
Yeah, it's not fun for sure. You kind of get introduced to it when you're younger, so I think I was about 12 when I started getting hit more often, and I mean, you kind of learn how to take a hit, you learn how to give hits the right way, and it's definitely not fun to get hit or be tackled in the ASU games especially, but you kind of get used to it and it becomes just part of the game.
Any occasion where you think this is the worst time you ever been tackled or taken down before?
Yeah, in juniors I got a couple of sticks to the face, lost my tooth, and broke my nose last game, but it's all part of the game.
What is the feeling of gliding on the ice? You feel it looks like you're flying from the stands. What is that feeling of the speed, pressing against your face, the wind going?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you definitely feel the wind when you're skating fast, and hearing the fans and hearing the ice crack when you're taking your strides, it's definitely a cool feeling.
So hockey is a very full contact, violent sport. Tell me, how does a hockey player get that fear out of their mind? Because you can't play out on this ice with fear in your mind. How do you get that out?
Yeah, I think it's tough for sure. A lot of it's mental. It's a really big mental game, and when you're playing, you just got to try to control what you can control and put the fear in the back of your head, because you know you're going to get hit, you know you're going to get bumped. But as long as you can just focus on the game, you'll be fine.
So Anthony, while you're skating out here, tell me the feeling of it when everything comes together, when you feel that you might take a shot and you might score. What is that feeling like?
Yeah, I think there's certain times when you know you're going to score and when you know it's just a shot on net. But when I get the puck on my stick and I know it feels right and I know I have a good opportunity to score, it's an amazing feeling. And then especially when it turns out as planned and I score, it's an awesome feeling, especially here in front of our fans.
Yes, and there's another one off the stick and in the net. Arizona takes a 4-0 lead.
We've been speaking to Anthony Cusinelli, captain of the UofA Hockey team. That'll be it with the Wildcat Hockey Report. We'll see you on the ice at the Tucson Arena.
There is no doubt that number 16, Kelly Walker, is the best of the best. Kelly, when I think of you, I think of the love and the commitment and the greatness you achieved here, right on this ice. Kelly and his teammates were 24-0 versus ASU over that 4-year stretch. Please direct your attention to the south end of the Tucson Arena as we now reveal the banner honoring Kelly Walker. Please welcome back to the ice of the Tucson Arena, number 16, Kelly Walker.
You guys have a chance to show this town college hockey at the greatest level that you guys play. So I'm just extremely humbled to be here, to be in front of you guys, and to be in front of this whole great arena. And it's a very emotional moment for me. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Andrea. I'd like to thank my line mates, Corey, Johnny, Johnny Wags, Goldsey, Danny Anderson, certainly Tommy Smith. I want to mention thanks to the great presentation that Tim did for me today. I want to thank Coach Burns. I want to make special recognition to Shane Faucell. And I also like to take recognition for every other player who has played here at the University of Arizona, who's proud to have played for the University of Arizona, and who continues to support this great program going forward and in the future. So guys, thank you so much for the tribute. Thanks for the support. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Hello Wildcat fans, I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
Longtime Arizona hockey fans might remember that I was the media director for the team for the first time in the late 1990s, and I found a recruiting video that I made for the team in the year 2000. Now, in the 1980s and 1990s, as college hockey got more popular, it was common for colleges to put the word ice in front of their nickname. So Arizona State were the Ice Devils, and Arizona were the Ice Cats, and that's the name that you'll see in this recruiting video, which was made a full 10 years before Arizona adopted their regular Wildcat nickname. So let's get in the time machine and go back to the year 2000 and see this Arizona hockey recruiting video.
Located in central Tucson on 352 acres, the University of Arizona is one of the top-ranked universities in the nation. Surrounded by soaring mountains in the Sonoran Desert, the campus boasts lush lawns, palm trees, and more than 300 days of sunshine each year. More than 35,000 undergraduate and graduate students attend the U of A, coming from all 50 states and more than 100 foreign countries. Arizona also has one of the most successful collegiate men's ice hockey programs in the United States, the Arizona Ice Cats.
It's a new season, a new century, but you still can't beat this cat. It's the 21st season of Arizona Ice Cat College Hockey. 18 home games at the TCC with 4 matchups against arch rival ASU.
The Arizona Ice Cats compete in Division I of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the ACHA. All home games are played in the 7,000-seat Tucson Convention Center near the U of A campus. More than 1 million fans have packed the TCC over the years to watch Arizona Ice Cat hockey. That's an average of 5,000 fans a game, making the Ice Cats one of the top 5 draws in the U.S. for collegiate hockey at any level.
Paul, for those who haven't seen what it's like to have 7,000 people at the Tucson Convention Center to cheer for the Arizona Ice Cats against a team like arch rival ASU, for instance, can you tell them what kind of madhouse it is to see the Ice Cats play in front of 7,000 home fans?
Well, it's dubbed the Madhouse on Main Street here at the TCC, and when you come in, even if you come in for a game where we'll play a St. Louis University or something, you know, that's not a big rival of ours, we're still going to have 4,000, 5,000 people in the stands, you know, screaming your name. You get to see signs with your name on it. It's uncomparable to anything I've ever had before I got here. The biggest crowd I ever played in front of was maybe 400 or 500 people in high school, a big high school rivalry.
I'm sure you were told there were 6,000 or 7,000 people for some of the games here at Arizona, but were you still surprised when you walked out onto the ice the first time in front of that many people?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's one thing being able to sit in the stands with the 6,000 people and watching, you know, the team play. It's one thing. Another thing to step on the ice in front of that many people, and it's just nuts. It's you know, the crowd's screaming. You know, you're the home team, and you know, you got your arch rival ASU down there, and just be able to play in front of that crowd. It's pretty nerve-wracking your first time out.
It is the most exciting feeling there is against Arizona State to score a big goal. I can't explain it. You get jumped on by your players. I mean, 7,000 fans cheering for you. It was a great experience. It happened to me last year twice, 2 games in a row, and it was just the greatest feeling of the year by far.
In this ACHA, you've got Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Dearborn, on and on, Iowa State. I mean, we're talking about some of the biggest hockey colleges in the country, which we play. We have a graduation rate that is far better than any other sport on the University of Arizona campus. And needless to say, they got to be an excellent hockey player. We have young men that comes out of junior A's. We've had some that come down from Division I, quote-unquote big schools, which we play anyway, but they much play here in front of 6,800 people than playing in front of 1,000. There is, I guarantee you, not a fan in the country that matches our fans when it comes to making noise, bar no place in the country.
Founded in 1979, the Ice Cats' numbers are staggering. More than 400 wins, a record 18 consecutive national tournament appearances, 8 Final Four appearances, and the 1985 National Collegiate Club Championship.
Mark, talk about the travel that this team takes, because many teams will play just their closest neighbors, but the Arizona Ice Cats fly all over the country to play games. Talk about the opportunities you have to play the best teams in the country.
We go on road trips all the time during the year. I mean, they're a lot of fun. We go all to Penn State, make it down to Chicago, out in the Midwest, California. We travel all over. We just get to play the best competition.
Are you glad you came to Tucson, Arizona, attend the University of Arizona, and play for the Arizona Ice Cats?
Oh, definitely. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. You get to wear sandals and shorts to the rink every day and have fun playing hockey, and the school itself's a great school to go to.
Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. I'm Timothy Gasson, joined by my broadcast partner Jackson Peters. We're getting ready for the second period of play between number 7 Arizona and the Antelopes of Grand Canyon University. And Jackson, that was a really good period of college hockey between Arizona and Grand Canyon. Arizona with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, the Wildcats playing with the intensity that we expect from them. I think this was a little more reflective of the team that they actually are. You know, they have one game under their belt in the second semester now, so hopefully they can carry that same intensity from the first period through another 40 minutes, because I think if they let up at all, I think GCU is going to play a full 60-minute hard-fought game, you know, no matter what the score is. So I think if UofA lets up at all, GCU will more than definitely jump right back into this game.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Grand Canyon's effort here tonight. As you said, they could have been satisfied with last night's win and just kind of, gee, let's see what happens here tonight. And they're pressing the issue. They're skating with a little bit more speed than they were last night. They're playing a good hockey game. So I'm impressed with them. But, you know, Arizona keeps hitting those posts, keeps having shots that are just wide, that are just not quite there. Well, guess what? One of those turned into, two of those turned into goals for Arizona because they kept after the puck. The first shot didn't go in, perhaps hit a post, was at the, hit the goaltender, was at the side of the net. Well, Chris Westland dug one of those out for the first goal of the evening for Arizona. Then Bailey Marshall found one with a really nice backhander that roofed over Michael Norris for the 2-1 lead over Grand Canyon. What do you want to see out of Arizona in this second period? What do you want to see them do different? Or is this kind of like watching a runner start to get his conditioning together, and suddenly his strides get better, and suddenly he feels more athletic, and suddenly he can go a longer period of time? Is this just really Arizona getting into playing shape?
I think so, and we've seen it through the first semester that this Wildcats hockey team, they're a team that likes to shoot the puck. And when they're hitting posts and they're missing the net, you know, that's really going to be hard on their game. They rely on those guys that can score, you know, from the slide, just rip it in. This isn't a team that scores a lot of those greasy goals that we talked about. It's a team that scores, you know, straight shots, you know, top corners. So when those guys aren't scoring, it's going to hurt your overall scoring because there isn't a lot of, you know, secondary scoring on this team. So what, you know, you got to say here is keep shooting. It's going to come. If you're hitting the post, you're just a few inches off target. So for guys like Cusinelli and Bailey Marshall, just keep shooting. Other things will come. But, you know, the guys that aren't usually the shooters, they got to crash harder than that. They got to be there. They got to anticipate that it's going to go off the post, or, you know, it's going to bounce off for a good rebound. They got to get to the net. You know, you see a lot of times there's juicy rebounds just sitting there, and there's no Wildcat to get it.
I agree with you. I want to see some more grit down low from the Arizona Wildcats. You know, as I was saying, you're not in those low scoring positions by accident. You have to work to get there. And your opponent doesn't want you there. You have to work to get there. So I want to see Arizona work to get down low and get in front of Michael Norris and bang home a few of those pucks that are bouncing around in front of the Grand Canyon goaltender. I see Coach Berman and Coach Hogan entering the ice now and heading over to their bench. Grand Canyon is already on their bench and ready to go. Wildcats have not appeared yet. That's fascinating. And we can see from our vantage point well into the far corner of this arena, which seats about 7,000, where the corridor is, which leads to their locker room. It's quite a walk for them on the rubber mat. Now I see Nolan Bivelsick leading the Wildcats in their new alternate third jerseys down the rubber mat and coming to the ice. I got to think that maybe after the coaches left the room, there was just another 30 seconds or so of talk about, we haven't won anything yet. Let's get this thing going in the second.
That's got to be what they're talking about here. You know, they have to come to the second period with a lot of intensity. They didn't win anything yet. They're only up by 1 goal. That can change with 1 bounce. So they got to stay on top of it. If they really want to try and win this game, they got to keep doing what they're doing.
Arizona gave up 4 goals last night, which I'll have to look at my stats, I think are the most goals that Arizona's given up at home this season, and it's their first loss of the season last night against Grand Canyon. Well, they already have 2 on the board here tonight with 2 periods to play. Grand Canyon right there with Arizona, as they were for most of the game last night before pulling ahead for good. Played an excellent game here last night. Well, Arizona's picked up their game here tonight, and so has Grand Canyon. I think Grand Canyon's playing better than they were last night.
Yeah, I think both teams are playing a much different style of play. Both of these teams are working so hard, and I'm surprised that GCU's playing better than they did last night. I thought last night they played an excellent game, but they're bringing a lot more speed tonight than they did last night.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that kind of game. I mean, the first goal, or the only goal so far for Arizona, was a speed goal by Declan Carter. A breakaway that he came in with a lot of speed and buried to actually give Grand Canyon a 1-0 lead, but Arizona now leads 2-0. Michael Norris is now to our left for Grand Canyon, and Nolan Bivelsick protecting the goal to the right as the Cats pick up the puck. There's Cusinelli and Bailey Marshall. Puck comes into Keelan Ulnick. Shot, goal! Keelan Ulnick! He picked the upper corner, and he buries the puck. Bailey Marshall gave it off to him. Oh, he picked the upper corner and beautifully buried that puck. That wasn't the hardest shot in the world, but the placement of that shot was what was missing in Arizona's game last night. Arizona takes a 3-1 lead.
And that's what they need to keep doing. They were anticipating the rebound. They anticipated, you know, a loss of the puck high up there. And, you know, guys were ready. They were anticipating where the puck was going to go, not where it was. And I think that's what led to the goal there.
Goal, give it to number 24, Keelan Ulnick. The assist goes to number 11, Bailey Marshall. That's Ulnick from Marshall. Time of your Wildcat goal, 28 seconds in the second period.
He shoots. He scores. The tradition here is to yell at the opposing goaltender, it's all your fault, after he gives up a goal. Keelan Ulnick, you know what I like about that shot? It wasn't the hardest shot, and often it isn't how hard the shot that's the most important thing. It's where you put the shot.
Yeah, and Keelan's one of those guys that likes to work real hard, so it's good for him to get a goal, especially, you know, you just got to get it on net. It's not about the perfect placement, the perfect, you know, speed. Just get it to the net and good things will happen.
And he got it away quickly. He didn't get too close to the goaltender. Just a nice goal. He had a beautiful goal last night, in last night's game too. I really like Keelan Ulnick's game for Arizona, and he's going to have to carry more of the weight here in the second semester for Arizona as the puck comes in on Norris and he makes the save. Yeah, there's more pressure on the Arizona defense here in the second semester, and Keelan Ulnick is going to have to grow into that larger role as he has been.
And like I've said so many times before, Tim, you know, teams that win national championships are not teams that rely on 2 or 3 guys. You know, this is a team that really needs to start working on their secondary scoring. And of course, that's something that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But you know, you need guys
there's
like
a
Keelan
wraparound to try, excuse me, Jackson, that almost went for Arizona as Arizona's putting on the pressure here. You are absolutely right, though. You're not going to win with just 1 or 2 guys, as there was an attempt at tough angle shot trying to scoop up into the upper part of the net, but Norris was able to find it and glove it, and so we'll have a face-off. But no, you're absolutely right. Every team Arizona plays from here on out knows number 11, Bailey Marshall, number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. Oh, there's a big rebound and a shot and a goal. A big rebound and a rebound goal. I think that's Justin Plumhoff with the goal. Big juicy rebound from Michael Norris. He wants that one back because it went right on the stick of Justin Plumhoff. And he buries it with an easy one. Again, as you said, buzz around the net, get close to the goaltender, find those pucks that are going to come off of him. That's exactly what Plumhoff did.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he wasn't backing away from the play. He went to the net and he was ready for the rebound.
Give it to number 19, Justin Plumhoff. The assist goes to number 14, Cully Olson. That's Plumhoff from Olson. Time of your Wildcat goal, 1 minute 16 seconds in the second period.
He shoots. He scores. Here comes Arizona back at 2-on-1, now 2-on-2. Oh, and there's a shot, a nice save there by Norris. Cully Olson with the another assist here tonight, a multiple point game for the freshman for Arizona. As Arizona fans chant, "It's all your fault." Now that one, I think Michael Norris would fault himself on. He gave up a big rebound right on the stick of an Arizona player who had a little bit of open net to be able to put that in. And now just a little less than 2 minutes in to the second period, Arizona has broken this one open. Now a 4-1 lead, and an Antelope goes to the box to boot.
Grand Canyon penalty under 15, the Clan Carter. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 1 minute 57 seconds in the second period. Gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
So Declan Carter goes to the box for 2 minutes, and Arizona back on the power play. As the puck goes wide now behind the net, Arizona's able to keep it in. That's Ben Jones with the puck at the top, sends it to the side, back to Jones. Now to Cusinelli, sends it cross ice, and a shot, and another big rebound, and there's an open net, the goal! Keelan Olenek with another one, another big, juicy rebound, and Keelan Olenek snaps it up, it's in the net, and it's another Wildcat goal, 5-1 Arizona.
That's all it takes, Tim. You just got to crash the net hard. When you see guys are shooting, get to the net. And this is what the Wildcats are doing, and that's why they've put 5 on the board here. They're just going heavy and hard at the net. They're anticipating the rebound. They're anticipating that second opportunity. And GCU, they're just plain not picking up guys. They see these guys crashing the net. They know they can score, but they're just not taking care of their man.
Well, when you have those big, juicy rebounds, I mean, Norris is making. Here's the call.
Number 26, Justin Dungy. The assist goes to number 12, Chris Westland, and number 11, Bailey Marshall. That's Dungy from Westland and Marshall. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 2 minutes 23 seconds in the second period.
Boy, yeah, he shoots, he scores. I thought that was Keelan Olenek with another one. But it was 26, not 24. Justin Dungy didn't mean to take your goal away from you, Justin. He makes it 5-1 Arizona. And now we have a lot of hockey to go, and this is starting to look like a year ago when Arizona put up 15 on Grand Canyon. Let's see how they respond now. A lot of skill on display here in just the first 3.5 minutes of the second period, the 3-goal outburst. And when you see Arizona play like this, I mean, you really scratch your head and wonder how they lost that game last night, Jackson.
Yeah, there's so many factors, you know. Only 2 practices. Guys might be tired, you know. These guys live all over the country. They don't stay in Tucson for this long winter break. So there's just so many factors that can come in there.
Oh, there's a shot and a goal by Grand Canyon. I don't know what Nick Baralda was doing, making a motion to the crowd like that. You hate to see a guy score a goal and then make a stupid, oh, he's making more stupid motions to the crowd. Crowd is booming because I just hate to see that. But Nick Meralda with a nice shot, and he gets one back for Grand Canyon. I prefer it when you go and celebrate with your teammates and celebrate at the bench and then drop the puck again rather than making motions at the crowd. But
yeah, especially when it's a 5-2 game now. I mean, it's difficult.
So the Antelopes are taking a timeout here. I think this is interesting. You know, the game was starting to get away from them. It was 5-1. Now it's 5-2. I'd be interested to know if perhaps Coach Roy is talking to guys like Meralda and saying, you know, cut that stuff out and let's play a game here, because.
And I'm not sure who's in the box for the Antelope, but there is a GCU player in the box. I'm not sure if that was the goal scorer.
Well, if it's Meralda, it might be a misconduct. Who knows what he was saying on with his motioning. Anthony Cusinelli, captain of Arizona now.
And I think in the box that's number 10, Jeffrey Payne. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah, there's advertising on the glass behind, on the back of the penalty box, so you can't see the numbers of the players once they sit down. And I didn't see who went into the box for the Antelope. So we'll wait for the call here. Number 10 apparently, which would be Jeffrey Payne. But I don't know what the call is, and there's a timeout by Grand Canyon with 36 minutes to go in the game. That's a really interesting timeout to call right after Meralda scored the goal. Play back on, and Arizona with the power play.
Meralda give the assist to number 10, Jeff Payne, and number 19, Richard Bohan. That's Meralda from Payne and Bohan. Time of the Grand Canyon goal, 3 minutes 55 seconds in the second period. Grand Canyon penalty on number 10, Jeff Payne, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of that penalty, 3 minutes 55 seconds in the second period. It gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration from the Antelope. They were down 5-1. Meralda scores the goal, and apparently Jeffrey Payne, in that sequence of Meralda making some motions to the crowd, must have said something that the referee heard. He gets a 2-minute penalty for it, and Arizona's back on the penalty play. And you can see why Grand Canyon would be a little frustrated here. They had played such a good first period. They played so well last night, and Arizona really broke this open in the first 3.5 minutes of the second period, making it 5-1. Now 5-2, but Arizona back on the power play. Grand Canyon doing a good job of keeping the Cats from moving the puck, though. Now they come away with it. Goes back to Jones at the point. He's going to move over to Cusinelli. Back to Jones. He sends it down low. There's a wide open net. And a score, and another Wildcat goal. Puck squirted out, and it's right back in the net. Arizona takes a 6-2 lead. And you go, you congratulate your teammates, you go to the bench, you come back on the ice, that's how you do it. So Arizona makes quick work of the power play to take a 6-2 lead. With, once again, a nice big juicy puck in a scoring position. And Michael Norris can only stop so many of those first and second shots.
Arizona will give it to number 11, Bailey Marshall. The assist goes number 12, Chris Westland, and number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. That's Marshall from Westland and Cusinelli. Time of your Wildcat goal, 5 minutes in the second period.
Bailey Marshall's 16th goal of the season. He shoots, he scores. Well, Bailey Marshall certainly has his scoring touch back. As it's now 6-2 Arizona. And we're not even 6 minutes into the second period. You have to wonder if the air is going to come out of the balloon a little bit here for Grand Canyon as Arizona is starting to press the play, getting a lot closer to the Antelope goaltender. Shot comes in and from the net. There's another big open net on the other side, but it just hops over an Arizona stick. Norris is making those first saves, but sometimes the puck is coming back in a great scoring position. There's another one, another shot to goal! Now the floodgates are opening for the Arizona Wildcats. They take a 7-2 lead. That's going to be Cully Olson, I think, with the goal. The freshman brother of Orion Olson. I thought it was 14. These new third uniforms, I have to say, the numbers on the backs crinkle up and can be difficult to read at times. These are dye sublimation uniforms, so those numbers aren't actually stitched on, and so when the uniform crinkles up, sometimes a 3 becomes an 8. So I'll wait for the announcement.
We'll give it to number 14, Cully Olson. Lead assist goes to number 19, Justin Plemoff, and number 20, Manny Rowe. Well, that's Olson from Plemoff and Rowe. Time of your Wildcat goal, 6 minutes, 1 second in the second period.
He shoots, he scores, and I was right, Cully Olson. Now a 3-point night for Cully Olson with a couple assists and a nice goal. Those rebounds now, Jackson, are finding their way on Arizona sticks, and they are not missing the net like they did last night.
No, they're really starting to realize what they need to do to score here.
Ooh. Norris was down and out again, but the puck wasn't there. Just 7 minutes into this second period, Arizona has broken this open with 5 goals in the first 7 minutes. Look at the kind of space that Arizona players have with the puck, able to wheel around in front.
Welcome to the Mentry Tucson, sitting in section 222.
And there's a case in point because that jersey's kind of folded up and back, and I can't tell if it's 29 or 28. Well, it looks like it's 29, Kyle Wade with that shot.
And we've got a few minutes left, so you can go up and hit your chuck pucks from the Wildcats.
Norris made the save, but he doesn't know where the puck is. It's still loose. Norris is down. Cats come away with the puck. Norris gets back to his knees. Now he's back up. Arizona really buzzing now. Sends the puck down the near side. Hops over Ben Jones' stick, and Cats have to regroup. Well, so far these new third alternative jerseys are good luck for the Arizona Wildcats. Puck comes down to Marshall. Bailey Marshall with a shot and a good save by Michael Norris. Puck squirted off into the corner. Jones is not able to keep it in the zone. Ben Jones playing very well as a defenseman for the Arizona Wildcats. One of those talented freshman class for Arizona. He's going to get a lot more ice time here in this second semester. He's been a go-to guy, even getting power play time with the Wildcats. Look at, okay, so we've got Eric Holton, former goaltender of the Arizona Wildcats. He's in the box wearing his third alternate jersey. These are beautiful jerseys. Look at the established 1978. But I love the crest that has the Arizona flag, a Wilbur the Wildcat, a Saguaro, and the A, and then the Wilburs and the A on the shoulder. Look, take a look at this. The jersey here, the new third jersey for the Arizona Wildcats, and show beautiful Eric Holton's face. Here, you see my hand. Former goaltender Eric Holton from the 1990s. No, go up and show Eric. Come on. There he is, Eric Holton. Eric Holton, a former goaltender of the Arizona Wildcats, wearing the new third alternate jersey. Thank you, Eric. We've already talked about okgoalie.com and how you are the world's okayest goalie. Remind me again here. You've practiced with the Cats this year, correct? So even the Cats needed an extra goalie in practice, and Eric Holton was kind enough to sit in and take shots at his head. Which of your jerseys, you're known for your many jerseys and hockey pads and that, which of them did you wear for practice? Oh, okay, you wore the Black Alumni jersey. So head on over to okgoalie.com and see all the great hockey stuff that Eric Holton has. He has jerseys and pucks. And another shot to goal! Chris Westland with a beautiful low shot to the near side corner. Picked up the loose puck. Oh, and he threaded that on the near side post.
And it's just the continuous, they're driving the net. They're getting the puck to open guys, Tim, They're not trying to make space on their own. They're moving the puck. And when they do take shots, if they take shots that are going to lead to rebounds if they don't go in. That was a nice low shot, but if it didn't go in, it would have led to a rebound.
Arizona Wildcat goal given to number 12, Chris Westland. The assist goes to number 19, Justin Plumoff. That's Westland from Plumoff. Time of your Wildcat goal, 8 minutes, 51 seconds in the second period.
He shoots. He scores. Chris Westland with the 8th goal for Arizona. Now 8-2. Arizona over Grand Canyon. Thanks to Eric Holton for coming into the box, showing us the brand new 3rd jersey. I got to get one of those, Jackson.
Yeah, those are real clean jerseys. I think they're real classic hockey jerseys. And plus they got the saguaro cactus on it, which I know is a staple of what these Arizona jerseys used to be, so it's good to see them pay a little homage to the jerseys of University of Arizona past.
Now Chris Westland's going to get back on the scoring sheet in a different way. He's in the box with a 2-minute minor. We'll have to wait for the call. I didn't see what happened.
Chris Westland, 2 minutes roughing. Time of that penalty, 9 minutes, 30 seconds in the second period.
So Westland goes in for roughing, a 2-minute minor, and Grand Canyon has the power play. Arizona's broken this open with 6 goals here in the first 10 minutes of the second period. The Cats break out. That's Bailey Marshall, shorthanded. Dipsy Doodle comes in on the backhand. And, I want to ask Eric Holton while he's here, did you have something to do with making these jerseys? I think Shane Fossell, goaltender coach for Arizona, had something to do with designing them, but did you have something to do with manufacturing them?
Between Shane and I, we came up with the design, and then we produced them in under 2 weeks to get them out here.
Okay, so I already thanked Shane Fossell, now former goaltender Eric Holton, the goaltenders union strong here at Arizona. I got to get one of these. These are beautiful. These are beautiful jerseys. All dye sublimation, correct?
Correct.
So no actual stitching on the jersey. The parts of the material are stitched together, but this is how they can be made so affordably for teams. So those are just beautiful, and so thanks to Eric Holton and Shane Fossell for getting those designed. And Jackson, they're proving to be lucky jerseys. I think some of this has to do with the play of Arizona as well. They've really come on in the second period. 6 goals in the first 10 minutes of a period. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to complain about here if you're the Wildcats. Just keep doing what you're doing. I said it during the intermission. Keep shooting and good things will happen, especially when you have guys going to the right spots. When guys are shooting, other guys, they're going to the far post. They're anticipating where these rebounds are going to go, and they're getting them, and then they're scoring.
And Grand Canyon, I don't know if we mentioned it, has made a goaltender change. It's Gabe Lepper, number 33 now, in the net for Grand Canyon. So good experience for all 3 Grand Canyon goaltenders last night and tonight. As on the far side, we have Richard Bohan having a little discussion with Wildcat. He's going to head to the box. Arizona player skates to the bench and waves at him a little bit. I think we can expect a little bit of this for the rest of this game if the score is out of hand, as the Arizona fans are really getting into this now.
And it looks like we're going to have 2 GCU Antelope in the box now. So it looks like the Wildcats might walk out of this with a 5-on-3 power play.
Yeah, I understand the frustration. You're down 8-2 after playing so well last night. But Grand Canyon does have to, keep their head here a little bit. And so does Arizona. Arizona needs to keep their focus and, not let this game kind of deteriorate. they have to get better. They have to get better for next weekend, and they have a lot of work to do. And just play their game. Oh, I think one of the Grand Canyon players may have been tossed. He has a word for the referee, but it looks like Nick Maralda, who's the one who was motioning to the crowd, he's being let off the ice. Now, we'll have to see if this is a 10-minute misconduct, and that's why he's being let off the ice, or a game misconduct. He's being let off the ice. The crowd's really giving it to him. So we'll have to wait for this call. Another Grand Canyon player is taking his place in the box, which is interesting, which must mean that he's gotten a minor and perhaps a misconduct. If he had a 10-minute misconduct, sometimes they'll just send you to the locker room because there's only 8:44 to go in the period. But if he also had a minor, you'd have to have a player from the bench sit on the bench. So I'm going to guess this might be a game misconduct for Murata. We'll wait for the official call.
Grand Canyon penalty on number 19, Richard Bohan. 2 minutes for roughing. Grand Canyon penalty on number 22, Nick Marolda. 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Time of those penalties, 11 minutes, 16 seconds in the second period. And it gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
So another nice shot there by Keelan Ulnick, and Gabe Lepper makes the save. So, like a broken clock, I'm right twice a day. It was a minor for roughing and then a 10-minute misconduct. That's why he was let off. So we'll see Nick Marolda and see what he is going to do in the third period here at the Tucson Arena. So Arizona's on a two-man advantage here for another minute 30. They move the puck around. There's Ben Jones. Back to Jones right in the middle. Down low to Ulnick. Oh, that puck went over a Wildcat stick, but Jones picks it up. Is he going to send it? Nope, sends it down to Ulnick. Back to Jones. Oh, he's got to let that go. He does, and a nice glove save there by Gabe Lepper.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to wish a happy
Good
birthday
puck movement there by Arizona, but I think Jones had to let that one go.
Yeah, that's the right call there to take that shot. But if we compare this power play from the Wildcats tonight to the one last night, you know, it's worlds apart. They're so effective here tonight. Not only have they scored, they've moved the puck extremely well. And if they can keep up this kind of performance on their power play, you know, you can expect good things from their power play when they play, you know, top-ranked teams in the ACHA.
Yeah, this is why I really like these back-to-back games where teams can, the puck deflects over the net into the far corner. Teams can really have instant redemption. I mean, the Wildcats were embarrassed last night, and they wanted to prove themselves. And there's a high shot by Keelan Ulnick, who was going for the upper corner there, but it missed, went over the net. Jones with the puck again, sends it down low, and misses Max Meyer there. Goes to the far corner. Kyle Wade digs it out, sends it back to Jones. Jones at the top. Shot that goes wide. Shooting gallery now here with the two-man advantage for another 30 seconds. Ulnick sends it to the far side. Shot off the glove of Lepper. He's down. They got to move the puck over. They do, but it hops over a stick. There's a wide open net there as Lepper was down. There's a hard shot that just misses. That would have beat Lepper if it was on goal. Lepper really looking like a duck in a shooting gallery here with the two-man advantage, as any goaltender is going to look. You're going to take a lot of shots. 1 second to go, and this is going to be a lift for oh, there's a shot in the goal, a tip in, just as the two-man advantage expired. The puck was loose in the crease, and a tip in, and Arizona goes up 9-2. Wow, just as I was about to say, that's an emotional lift for Grand Canyon. They were able to kill the two-man advantage. Well, just as it expired, the puck was right down in the crease and tipped in for a 9-2 lead.
And that's just the Wildcats showing, you know, don't stop working. You know, the seam will open up.
.6:30 to go in the second. Arizona with a 7-goal outburst. Looking a little bit more like themselves. And you know, after, you know,
Arizona Wildcat goal. Give it to number 29, Kyle Wade. The assist goes to number 24, Keelan Olnick, and number 17, Ben Jones. That's Wade from Olnick and Jones. Time of your Wildcat goal, 13 minutes, 20 seconds in the second period.
He shoots. He scores. Arizona with a big 9-2 lead. As Nolan Bivelsic gloves the puck that popped off of him.
And that's a real nice save, one you don't see too often. He makes the initial save, and the rebound goes straight up and almost bounced right into the net. You know, excellent awareness by Biv to make that second effort to make sure that didn't trickle in.
Yeah, well, Nolan Bivelsic has excellent reflexes. If you see part of his pregame routine and how he works with tennis balls and you know, working on his reflexes, he's an impressive young goaltender. And that was a great reflex save. So a lot of positive things going for the Arizona Wildcats here after last night's embarrassment to Grand Canyon. And you know, I was about to say Grand Canyon really enjoyed their victory last night on home ice. They really kind of yucked it up on Arizona late in that game. Arizona remembers that. I don't think they're going to take their foot off the pedal here in this game.
No, you know, especially low levels of hockey, you know, when you're 8 or 9 years old, if you're winning by a couple goals, your coach will say, hey, you know, make a couple passes before. But, you know, by how GCU handled themselves at the end of the game last night, you know, I expect UofA just keep playing the same way, you know, keep trying to put in more goals.
Yeah, and it's not like we understand this was a big win for Grand Canyon as Bivelsic tried to freeze that puck, but then decided to throw it into the corner. 4:41 to go in the game as the puck comes big on Bivs, and he just stops it there. That's a good play. You know, it's not like we don't expect Grand Canyon to celebrate their victory. It was a huge victory for them. Their second in 2 years winning here at the Tucson Arena against a Division I opponent. But you like to see teams act like they've done it before and that they've been there, and not to rub the home team's face in it, especially when you play again the next night.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. You know, we can't hear it up here, but, you know, you can see the body language of these guys. You know, they were taunting each other, and I'm not surprised, you know, if the physicality of this game heats up as the scoring keeps rising.
Keelan Ulnick with the puck. And, of course, there were some fisticuffs and rough stuff at the end of the game. Arizona was very frustrated.
And keep in mind, you know, we saw some players drop their gloves, which usually is a fighting major. We didn't see that called, so everybody involved in those fights last night is playing here tonight.
Yeah, that's interesting. The referees, as Anthony Cusinelli comes in with a shot that goes off of Lepper. He's down. The puck is loose behind the net. Now we're going to have some pushing and shoving. Cusinelli with a good high shot, but Lepper made the save.
And I think this is going to be a result of touching the goaltender. We talked about, you know, that's just one of those things you cannot do as a hockey player. So I'm not surprised, you know, maybe a little extra pushing and shoving, you know, touching a goaltender just kind of gives you an excuse to do it.
Yeah, we talk about, you know, the commandments of hockey, and perhaps commandment number 1 of hockey is thou shalt not touch our goaltender. And there was a bit of a tussle there with Gabe Lepper. Good to see Grand Canyon, you know, sticking up for their teammates. I mean, that's a pretty universal thing. You may not even like the goaltender on your own team, but guess what? When he's wearing your uniform and a guy from an opposing team touches him, suddenly he's your best friend in the world. So here we got a couple guys going to the box, including Declan Carter and Chris Westland, and boy, they were really yapping at each other too.
We'll have to see if that turns into more once they do get out of the box here.
Carter with a really nice goal in this game to start the scoring for Grand Canyon. It's hard to remember this far back in this game, Jackson, but Grand Canyon once had a 1-0 lead in this game. Arizona now with 4:05 to go in the second period leads 9-2. 9-2. Last year, Arizona put up 15 on Grand Canyon in the second game. We still have 24 minutes to go in this one. We'll see if the red light goes on anymore.
Declan Carter, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 12, Chris Westland. 2 minutes for roughing. Both penalties at 15 minutes, 55 seconds in the second period.
So offsetting roughing calls. And yeah, we'll see in the third period if stuff starts to heat up as the game perhaps will be out of reach. Grand Canyon kicks the puck to the far side. Arizona picks it up. Arizona using its speed so much more effectively tonight than they were last night as Kevin Bird throws it in behind the net. Manny Rowe, defenseman behind the net, digging out the puck. Here's a turn and a shot and a puck that goes off the glove of Lepper. Gabe Lepper's only played in 2 games this year, but he's 2-0. 4.5 goals against average. Here's a point-blank shot and a good save there by Gabe Lepper. As he rolls over and gets back on his feet. You get the idea that both Michael Norris and Gabe Lepper are going to spend some time in the ice pool after this game. They've really, they've seen a lot of shots and had to move around a lot in the crease. Arizona doing such a better job of moving the puck around in this game.
And they're getting really nice quality shots. We didn't see that as much last night. You know, they had a lot of shots, but they didn't have a lot of good ones that led to good scoring chances.
Right.
And tonight, it seems like almost every shot they take leads to a scoring chance.
No, you're absolutely right. It's amazing how much more ice. And the thing is, Grand Canyon did a good job in the first period of keeping Arizona out of those scoring positions. But boy, there's been just an onslaught here as Arizona breaks in 2-on-1. And there's a shot to goal! Another shot to goal! Arizona 10, Grand Canyon 2, and there's Sahil Ahuja, his first game as a Wildcat, and he pots a goal. Congratulations, Sahil.
That's got to be an amazing feeling. You know, it's your first game in this sweater, and then you get your first point in your first game. That's an awesome feeling. Congrats to him. And an absolute ripper at that. He sniped that puck in the net.
Boy, I told Sahil last night I was looking forward. I'll pick that up and on the other end.
Give it to number 3, Sahil Ahuja. That's Ahuja, unassisted. Time of your Wildcat goal, 17 minutes, 32 seconds in the second period.
He shoots, he scores. I was talking to him before the game last night. He wasn't dressed for the game. He knew he was going to play tonight, and I told him how much I was looking forward to seeing him play. It's always great to see a freshman get his first playing time, see how he reacts to it, see how he grows into that role on the ice. And then to get the opportunity to have the puck on your stick and bury it like that, congratulations. You are now an Arizona Wildcat with a goal. That is just fabulous. I know in a 10-2 game, you might think that something like that isn't important to him and his family. You better believe it is.
Especially when you consider, you know, those are the guys you cheer for on the team. You know, when you're playing on this team, you know, you root for the guys that haven't scored. You root for the guys that haven't played. So that's a huge morale booster for this team, and sometimes that's something you don't think about.
Oh, Declan Carter goes down heavy. This is going to be a penalty on Arizona right in front of the Grand Canyon bench. Yeah, you know, especially freshmen and young players, they're at every practice. They're working hard. They're doing everything the rest of the team does. Sahil Ahuja watched his teammates play that first semester. He didn't play. Started the second semester. Arizona needs to build depth on defense. He gets to play. That's and you know, you get rewarded for all that hard work, even though you didn't get to play those other games. So it looks like Jake Dickinson is going to go to the box. 1:38 to go in the second period. Yeah, that's going to be a roughing, and that's a good call. There was no reason really to take Carter down in front of the Grand Canyon bench.
No, I think he was getting a little shove from that GCU player, and he just decided to, you know, throw him to the ground. But that is one that the refs are going to call it, you know, 100% of the time. You know, we talk about how sometimes they'll miss calls behind the play. That's one that's real hard to miss.
You know, last night, I know a lot of fans around the ACHA were watching the Twitter feed, and frankly, those who root against Arizona, I mean, all the opponents, were delighted with this loss to Grand Canyon. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction is if this score holds up for Arizona at the end of this game. It's currently 10-2, Arizona out in front of the Animals.
In the second period.
down to the last 120 of the period. As the Cats get the puck out of the zone, we'll play the rest of the period with a man advantage for Grand Canyon.
And this is a much more intense penalty kill that we've seen all year. The Wildcats really going after the offensive players.
Well, we were talking about that inspiration having to come from within. Now you can tell Arizona really, really, really wants to play well for themselves. They know they have to get better. They don't. I will bet the coaching staff is going to talk about forget the scoreboard in the third period. We got to play how we've got to play next week against UNLV. The weekend after that against the Oklahoma schools. They have to get better, and they have to get better now. They didn't take their opportunity last night in that first game. Well, they've got to double that opportunity here in the last 37 seconds and in the third period of tonight's game.
Yeah, and it's real hard, you know you're going to play a Division II opponent. It's hard not to, look down on them before you play them. It's hard not to expect that you'll win that game, but that's just not the case. You have to play every game like you're playing the best team at the highest level.
Yeah, hats off to Grand Canyon. They played a great game last night. And 142, they doubled up Arizona on home ice. As the Cats send the puck down again. Remember, they're shorthanded, no icing. Well, they're going to feel a lot better going to the locker room in 7 seconds than they did at any point last night. 2 seconds to go. Can the Cats get another shot off? They do, and there's a save by Lepper. Here goes the horn. Let's see if the players separate. As Trey Green wants to mix it up with the Wildcat.
Grand Canyon with 7, Arizona with 26. The score after 2 complete periods of play here at the Tucson Convention Center Arena. Your hometown hockey team, the Arizona Wildcats 10, Grand Canyon 2.
So Arizona with 26 shots on goal, Grand Canyon with 7. Arizona already has 40 shots on goal to 18 from Grand Canyon. And I think that's an accurate reflection of how that period went. Arizona now with a 10-2 lead over Grand Canyon. Boy, that first 6 minutes, first 6 or 7 minutes of that second period, they just exploded. Jackson, what did they do different than at any point last night in that first 6 or 7 minutes of the second period?
Well, the thing is they were anticipating things, and that's part of that break. But they weren't going where the puck was tonight. They're looking to where it's gonna go. They're anticipating that rebound. And another big thing they're doing is they're not giving up on plays. So we saw last night, some of the best players like Marshall and Cusinelli, they hit the post and they kind of give up on the play. They kind of shrug and say, wow, I wish I had that goal. But instead, guys are taking the shot and they're going right for the play. They're staying in every play we see.
It's 10-2, but Coach Berman is over talking to the referee, stating his case about a penalty. Very animated about it as well. He knows this, for the rest of this game, this is not about the scoreboard. This is about Arizona has to get better, and he's fighting for his guys, really explaining himself to the referee. He's walking away now. No harm done.
And this is one of those real character-building games for both teams. I mean, how does Arizona, hold on to this lead? And, how does GCU react to being down by so many goals,
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, how this affects the character of each team.
So it'll be an exciting third period. It'll be interesting to see what Arizona does, too. At the end of 2 periods of play, it's number 7 Arizona, 10 Grand Canyon University, 2. Now we'll go to another video package. We have highlights and interviews and everything to do with Arizona hockey, because you are watching University of Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Wildcat Hockey regresa a Tucson y tú puedes ahorrarte hasta 20% en boletos con los nuevos paquetes de FlexPack.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Un acceso de 6 a 12 juegos esta temporada de los Gatos. Boletos disponibles en Tucson Convention Center o llamando el 791-4101. Apoya a su equipo esta temporada con FlexPack. Para más información visite ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
We need you. We need you.
We need you to support Wildcat Hockey.
The Wildcats are back in action, and it's time to show your U of A pride at the TCC Arena. Please call for tickets or come to the TCC box office. U of A hockey is affordable and fun for the entire family.
We need you.
We need you. We need you to support U of A Wildcat hockey.
All right, we're back in with another segment on clawing their way to the top, the story of Arizona ice hockey right down here in Tucson at the TCC. I brought in one of the newest members of the Arizona hockey team this year, Bailey Marshall. Bailey, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First things first, what's it been like arriving here at Tucson and being a part of this team that's now 8-1-0?
Well, so far it's just been pretty good. Got here and met some of the guys and just kind of meshed pretty quickly, and everything's just been going according to plan so far, and just working really well with all the other guys in the team and having some success on the ice.
So you came from a really good program, right, over in Oklahoma.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about what that transition's been like, not only for you on and off the ice.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's more a transition off the ice, and that was a big part of me leaving there. Was just I wanted a different experience in school. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar here this year to what it was last year. There, it's just a bunch of guys working hard, trying to do the best they can and make our way to the national tournament and see what happens. So it's pretty similar on the ice, just off the ice is a little different, bigger school and stuff like that, a little tougher classes. But other than that, it's going pretty well.
So you guys had a chance to spend some time bonding on the road. Nothing like going on a bus ride for 20 hours.
Nothing like that.
I know you're familiar with that at UCO. You did that a little bit. But
definitely.
Talk a little bit about what it's been like with your new teammates and why is this team 8-1-0?
Yeah, I just think that, like I said, the team's just meshing really well. All the new guys are doing pretty well. It seems like everyone's coming in and filling their roles. Like you got the top guys scoring goals, you got the third, fourth line guys going out there banging bodies and just creating some offense and stuff like that. So it's definitely just been a collective team effort, and everyone's just doing well together, and everyone's just bonding really well. It seems like a close team so far. So I think it's definitely adds to how we've been playing because we're just close together off the ice, so it's helping us on the ice for sure.
So before you got to the University of Arizona, what did you know about this program, and why did you want to be a part of it?
I was looking to get out of UCO and just talk to a couple different schools with my brother, and I knew me and my brother wanted to go to school together, and I knew that this program was heading the right direction, and talked to Chad a little bit and just convinced me that this was a place that I wanted to be. And I mean, so far it's looking exactly where I should be, and I'm having a great time, and it's been great on the ice and stuff like that, so can't complain.
So when you got out on the TCC ice as a home player for a change, what was it like? What were your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely awesome. I mean, our first game against ASU, so we had a lot of fans, more than I was used to last year, so it was pretty cool. And I mean, all the stuff they got going on this year with the media team, like the instant replay stuff, it's just awesome. It's like playing in a pro rink. I mean, it is a pro rink. I mean, Roadrunners play here, but it's like the atmosphere is just insane. It's pretty cool playing here in a home jersey. So.
And off the ice, you mentioned the bigger university, but can't really argue with the weather here either, huh?
Oh no, yeah, it's awesome here. I mean, definitely being from Chicago, I'm used to it being pretty cold right now already. So it's nice coming to practice in shorts and flip flops, and yeah, it's definitely a change, but it's awesome. And that was definitely also a factor of getting me here was the weather for sure.
You know, anybody that's seen your game over the years and seen you early this year with the Wildcats, they know you like to score. They know you can move the puck. Talk about your game and how you've adapted to your line mates.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been, I'd say, more of a playmaker than a goal scorer. This year, I think I'm definitely put lighting the lamp on more than usually. But I mean, playing with Cusinelli, I mean, my winger, other winger Stolly, he's out with a concussion, so we had Dungy in. He filled it in pretty well. But playing with Cus, it's easy, just move him the puck, and he's got a great shot, great release. So get him the puck, and chances are that we're going to get an opportunity and stuff like that. So and defense is really well too, getting a lot of good shots on net and stuff like that. So it just worked well around with everybody.
What are you seeing from the opponents right now? They know that they got a couple of snipers on your line, and you and Kus and Stolly, when he's healthy, is pretty good as well. Mm-hmm. So are you seeing any special types of defense against you guys?
I mean, obviously, like a lot of teams are going to be coming after us now because of how good we've been doing. So they're going to line match and stuff like that. But I think that we're deep enough that, I mean, they're going to have to pick a line, and if it's ours, whatever, we'll go out there and we'll do our best, and we've still been putting up points. But if they're going to pick at other lines, then I mean they've been doing a great job other lines as well. So I think we just got a good depth in our team, and it's gonna be tough to play against us all year.
And we talk about the program here in Arizona climbing their way back to the top. Years ago, they were pretty solid. They had some lean years. Coach Berman got here and started building the program, rebuilding the program. I think he's comfortable with where he's at now with the locker room. What have you seen, having seen it from the outside and now seeing it from the inside?
Yeah, I know they had some problems in the past. I really didn't see it playing them. I mean, usually when I'm playing against other teams, I kind of focus more on myself and on our team, but in the locker room now, based on what I've heard, it's definitely a different atmosphere. Everyone's buying in. Everyone wants to win. Everybody's working hard off and on the ice. So it's not just guys that don't want to be here. Everyone wants to be here, and everyone's working hard toward a common goal. And I think that's why we've had a lot of success so far.
So do your teammates here in Arizona look at you a little differently because they know that you've seen the pinnacle of ACHA D1 hockey?
I mean, they definitely give me a little crap about coming here from UCO, and whenever UCO is brought up, they always give me a little look. But yeah, I mean, definitely they see that I come from a team like that, and they want to be that kind of team. So I mean, definitely playing UCO this year is going to be a challenge, and I mean, I'm excited to go play there because I want to take some wins. I want to get some wins on the road against them and back here as well next semester.
So everybody here wants to not only get to the national tournament but win it.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to win the national tournament at the ACHA level? I call it maybe the toughest tournament to win in all of hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, last year my team came pretty close, but no cigar. I mean, you got to come every game. You got to come hard every game. I mean, definitely is going to help if we get some of these guys like Stolly and Plum back. Like, we could really use a full lineup. But everyone just got to play their role, and you got to come every single game because you don't come for a period in the national tournament, and 10 minutes in the national tournament can change your whole outcome. So you just got to be ready for every single game, come out and just give it your best and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on the ice.
Tell me one last comment, a little bit about playing 3 games in 3 nights. You've done it all your career at the ACHA level. How difficult is that? What do you feel like after that 3rd game?
Yeah, it's definitely nothing like growing up when you're playing 2 games in one day. It's definitely a little more tough now. You got, just with the physicality and stuff like that, it definitely takes a lot out of you, especially if you're playing a lot of minutes. But it's definitely, right now we have an off weekend, which is great because 3-game weekends can definitely beat you up. And yeah, it's just good to have a rest right now. But 2 back-to-back 3-game weekends, it's definitely tough on the body, and you know, you just got to do what you can to get past those, and just hopefully you can bring it for all 3 games.
Bailey Marshall, appreciate your time, and welcome again to the desert. You've been here for a little while now, and let's see if you can bring home that national championship for the Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
Warm-up time. Hello, Tucson, Arizona. Hiya, Joe. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Work hard.
Gets going. Let's take a look at the south.
All right, fellas, have a good one now. Keep him down. Let's go. Nah. Up easy. Too many men here.
I know in the past you've talked about trying to create a cooperative atmosphere on the ice between yourself, the teams, and the coaching staffs. Talk about your approach to officiating what can be a very difficult game.
Well, certainly at this level, you've got guys that know the game, and basically they know you. You've been working with them for 2, 3, 4 years, and you get a rapport with them. I don't have any animosity toward anybody at this level. They know what I expect, and they do their job, and I do my job, and everybody's happy.
Hey, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, shut up! Shut up!
So we're getting even? All right, cool. I like it.
We have 10 feet from our boards.
No, you don't.
We don't?
No.
No?
No, you have to be at the bench.
I'm sorry?
You have to be at the bench. Go 10 feet. Your goaltender does. Your goaltender's got 10 feet if you're going to pull the goaltender. That's sure. Yeah, you bet. Anytime. Well, I think went rather well. Stick down, stick down, stick down. Let's go, move it, move it. That's all, that's all. Easy in front now, easy in front. I got it loose, let's go. Move it, move it. It's loose. Nothing so far, let's go. Get a clue. You want to go for 10?
Arizona State goal by number 8, Jason.
You guys gotta start calling some of that, huh? What's that? Just the blatant, like when we get scoring opportunities taken away. I don't care about the ticky but like cross checks in front and that. Soft hook. Yeah, that was breakaway. I was watching.
Can't nobody else work with us. Good period. Up, 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 up. No problem there, no problem there. No problem, let him go, 5. Good job, good job. How long you know me? Couple years?
Always knocks in. Oh, come on, why did you come over there?
Huh? I would never throw a guy. I wouldn't even throw a guy. Are you kidding me? Come on, that's not enough. Knock it off.
You gotta give him a penalty. He was screwed with our goalie, you saw it.
No, I didn't see it. I was following the puck. What was he doing? Yeah.
That was a pretty bad cheap shot there.
Was it?
At number 7, he's the guy. Same thing last time we played.
7?
I sat out for 2 weeks because of him. Cheap shots, you know?
I'll watch him. I'll watch him. Thanks. That was a pretty good game. Just trying to capture the spirit of the thing.
Hello, Wildcat fans. I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona Hockey are now on sale. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
So welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. I'm Timothy Gasson. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. We have 2 periods in the books now between number 7 Arizona and the Division II Antelopes of Grand Canyon. Arizona leading 10-2. Overall, what's been different than over last night's 4-2 loss to Grand Canyon? Is it just Arizona finding its legs? Is it more intensity? Is it Grand Canyon lagging a little bit? Combination of all of that? What do you think?
Well, I think both teams are actually playing faster than they did last night. But I think what's been key for Arizona is they're playing smarter. You know, they're looking for open spaces. They're looking for second chances. You know, they're not just focusing on getting that one clean, pass for a one-timer. They're looking, okay, we'll take the one-timer shot. But then let's get the puck after. If we miss the net, if we hit a post, let's get the puck again, and let's make that second effort to score on those rebound goals. And I think that's been the big key here for Arizona tonight, is they're just playing with so much effort, and they're playing smarter than they did last night.
Well, I think there definitely is effort. How about the word attitude? They have a much better attitude. They seem to care much more about the output or the outcome of this game than last night. I think after you have a semester as good as Arizona had that first semester, you can you're a young hockey player. You can tend to think, well, they put the puck out there and we go out and we win. And the other team is thinking that too. Grand Canyon outworked Arizona last night. Certainly made more of their chances. They didn't have a lot of chances, but it seemed every chance that Grand Canyon had last night went in the net, and they had 4 goals. Well, Arizona is burying their chances, and they're creating more opportunities here as the Antelope take the ice for the third period. I got to believe both coaching staffs were also preaching some patience and hold yourself together in this hockey game. It looks like the score is out of hand, and unless Grand Canyon quickly closes this gap significantly, we don't want this to be a giant parade to the penalty box, and we certainly don't want to see any young hockey players get hurt either. And also, Arizona has to be careful. If they have a fighting major here in this third period, they're going to lose an important player for the first game of that important home series next week against UNLV. They can't afford to have any fighting majors in this third period.
And it's going to be tough, for guys to not want to get in those battles. And, it's not a matter of if for this GCU team, it's of when they're going to get grumpy and when they're going to start trying to look for fights. Because, when you're losing by 8 goals, that's tough. It hurts, especially when you win the night before. But you're right. Those games next weekend against UNLV are arguably, some of the most difficult games this Wildcats team is going to play all year. So you need everybody healthy. You need everybody eligible for those games. So you need to just try and back away from that. And of course, you want to uphold your character as, being this big, strong team. But you got to think ahead to next weekend. You're winning 10-2. I mean, the odds that GCU comes back and, put some points up on the board to get back in this game are slim. So you got to be looking ahead to next weekend.
Absolutely right, but we still have a period of play here for the Arizona Wildcats as play is underway. It's Declan Carter picking up the puck and sending it to center ice for Grand Canyon. Manny Rowe comes back the other way, though, and with some speed, there's Dawson Marshall over the line, but apparently he was offside, so we'll have a whistle. And we'll start over again outside the Grand Canyon blue line. Just underway here in the third period with Arizona leading 10-2 over Grand Canyon University. Manny Rowe with the puck, sends it down into the Grand Canyon end. Puck deflects to the far side corner, comes right in through the crease again. Gabe Lepper remains in goal for the Grand Canyon Antelopes. Getting good experience. He's only played in a couple games this year, so this is good experience for him. So Bailey Marshall comes in, and there's a couple cats right on the doorstep. That's one of the differences, Jackson. Arizona getting much closer to the goaltender and really crashing the net. So there's a nice soft shot pass from Manny Rowe that's covered by Gabe Lepper. And we'll have a face-off in the Grand Canyon zone as Arizona makes a change. Just a minute 15 into the period, and Arizona's going to the box. And this is one of the ways that can keep the game under control. If Chris Westland goes into the box for 2 minutes, I think this is going to be cross-checked. But if Arizona's in the box and playing short-handed, that can keep things from getting testier. So Grand Canyon goes on a 2-minute power play, down 10-2. Now they only had 7 shots in that second period. They almost have to score on every shot at this point in order to get back into this game. They have 18 shots on goal in the game. Arizona playing a much better defensive game tonight as well.
For cross-checking, time of the penalty, 1 minute 15 seconds in the third period.
So it was a cross-check for Westland. A lot of good traffic there in front of Nolan Bivelsick for Grand Canyon, but Arizona's able to get the puck down the ice. Crowd very quiet here, 10-2 lead. They figured that the issue has been decided, but there's a lot of hockey to play here. Grand Canyon on the power play. They're not able to keep the puck in the zone, however. And that might be an inclination perhaps of a little mental tiredness by Grand Canyon there, as I see a little bit of frustration of players tired going to the bench. Some reality setting in after the win last night. I want to ask you, Jackson, as a former hockey player yourself, when you win that upset and you have the next game against the same team and they really lay it on you as if to say, that was a fluke, you didn't really beat us. What's your mentality? You go 1-1 with the team. You weren't supposed to beat them, but you did, win the first game. If you lose big in the second game, does that kind of take away your achievement?
Yeah, I think it does a little bit. And one of the big things you don't think about is when you're going to that second game and you can tell those guys are angry at the end of the game, it's a little bit scary. I mean, I don't have a better word for it. But, this is a big, hard, heavy-hitting team that the Cats have. So they bring a lot of intensity. So, if you don't play as well in that second game, it's hard on your morale.
And Declan Carter taken down by Dawson Marshall. He tried to throw Marshall to the ice, but instead he was thrown to the ice. I think they're going to separate. See if they even call anything here. Yeah, I guess maybe they're going to send them both. Now Carter's upset because I didn't think he thought maybe there was going to be a penalty call there, but he is. So now he's upset a little bit. He wanted to go back at Dawson Marshall. I would think Marshall's going to go 2 here, though. Carter was the instigator, but Dawson Marshall certainly participated. He goes and picks up his stick. I got to believe he's heading to the box as well. And I'm absolutely wrong. He's heading back to the Arizona bench. Arizona's going to come over with the power play off of that. No, yeah. So we'll have 23 seconds of 4-on-4. And then Arizona will have a man advantage and have a 5-on-4 power play. They win the faceoff. It's Bailey Marshall.
15, Declan Carter. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of that penalty, 2 minutes, 52 seconds in the third period.
It's interesting, Jackson, that they didn't take both of those guys. They both participated in that, both threw each other to the ice. Carter absolutely was the instigator in it all, though.
Yeah, I think that might just be another one of those ways to try and cool things off.
So Cats now on the power play for another minute 23 seconds. The puck comes out to Anthony Cusinelli at a spot on the ice where he almost never misses. He missed the net there. He has it again. Doesn't take the shot. Good for him for taking that shot. He got in really close in scoring position there. He goes cross ice to Bailey Marshall. Marshall tries to go cross ice again, but Grand Canyon's going to get to it and they're going to clear the zone. Or do they? Yeah, they finally do clear the zone. Arizona has to vacate, come back in, and they're called offside there. So 52 seconds to go on the power play. Arizona leading 10-2. We're 4 minutes and 1 second into this third period. No scoring so far in the third period after an eruption of 8 goals in that second period for Arizona, 1 for Grand Canyon. Cats continue on the power play. Keelan Ulnick sends it down behind the net. Dug out there by a Cat. Up to Justin Plumhoff, who has a goal here tonight. Back to Manny Rowe at the point. doesn't have a lane to the net, so he sends it down low. Cats still on the power play, about 10 seconds to go. There's a point-blank shot there by Max Meyer that goes wide, deflects wide. Grand Canyon player draped all over an Arizona player. They're able to get it out to center ice and down the ice. That'll do it for the power play. We're back to even-handed play. 5 minutes into this third period, 10-2 Arizona. Good shot block there. The Cats pick up the puck. Head man it. Move it up to center ice now with the blue line, 3-on-2. There's Bailey Marshall with a shot that got partially blocked and went wide. Cats look fully in control here, Jackson. They never looked fully in control, even with a brief lead last night.
No, they didn't. They just couldn't seem to find their legs, and I think part of that, again, was, you know, they were on a long break, not many practices.
There's a good setup and a point-blank shot, and a good save by Gabe Leopard there. Yeah, you know, it was interesting. I asked you to ask Coach Roy for the Antelopes how many practices they had before last night's game, because I was hoping maybe they had 5 or 6 or something. Arizona only had 2. Well, Grand Canyon only had 2 practices too. They won that game fair and square. It wasn't that they were back in condition, had their timing together, and Arizona didn't. They just played better and won. Well, tonight Arizona's playing better, and they're winning 10-2. Cats keep the puck in the zone, and now I wonder, I wondered if Grand Canyon would run out a little bit of steam in the third period last night. They didn't. Let's see how much energy they have left in the tank here tonight when you're down by a lot of goals. Second game in 2 nights against a Division I opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if they run out of a little bit of steam here. Puck comes back to Ahuja. Ahuja playing his first game as a Wildcat. Scored a goal. Congratulations to him. Let's hope it's the first of many. Always wonderful to score that first one, though. It's a point-blank attempt, but Leopard does a good job of protecting the lower part of the net. Almost a break here for Grand Canyon, broken up by Arizona. Arizona turns, and oh, that was just a miss of a home run pass, but Arizona gets to it anyway. Now in the near side corner, and this is where some stuff can happen. Yep, there's a hit from behind by Declan Carter. And a point-blank shot that goes wide. Puck comes all the way out to the point. Another big rebound given up by Leopard. And the puck comes up into the crowd. Well, we thought, Jackson, that Michael Norris, who started this game in goal for Grand Canyon, was going to have to stand on his head like Michael Barabash did last night. He just wasn't able to. Neither was Gabe Leopard. Just too much for those goaltenders. I don't know if Michael Barabash could have stopped this onslaught as well. There was a lot of pucks in scoring positions that Arizona just did the work to get to, and then a lot of skill on top of that. All those shots that went wide or hit the post last night actually went in the net tonight.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things there is the emotions that Arizona brought out of last night, and I truly think there's not a lot more talented than an angry hockey player. It seems when hockey players get mad, like they would after a game like last night, you try a little extra harder, and it seems like things kind of just start to go your way because you're working so much harder.
Well, they say you make your own luck, right? So Arizona seemed unlucky last night. Hit a lot of posts, a lot of shots that went wide. Well, you make your own luck. A lot of times hard work does pay off. Well, it has tonight for Arizona. And we said Grand Canyon played a good first period, and we're down just 2-1 after the first period. So it isn't that Grand Canyon was completely out of gas in this game. Let's see what they have in the last 12 minutes, though. as the game looks out of hand, 10-2 for the Arizona Wildcats. As I said, all those opponents who were excited that Arizona lost that game last night are going to be disappointed when they see the Twitter feed and the scoreboard from the ACHA for this one, I think. There's a puck that was tipped, so no ice. Arizona picks it up, and with some speed, here comes Manny Rowe. Manny Rowe over the red line. Manny Rowe with some speed. He's a great skater. He's down low. He really didn't have anywhere to go with that puck, though. He knew he needed to get back to his point. Keelan Olnick looks like he just took a shot off of his ankle and was skating tenderly for a second. Let's see if he heads over to the bench. He does. I think he's okay. It was one of those that he shook it off by skating a little bit, but boy, that hurts if it hits you in the exact right spot. And play continues on. This crowd, which was very rowdy, knowing that Arizona lost last night and knowing that the Cats needed some energy, we're really into this game in the second period. I think they understand that with 10:30 to go in the game, this one is decided. What's the final score going to be? Can Arizona get any better? That was a good hit as the puck was just leaving the Cats' stick. Now there was a hit from behind on Max Meyer. They going to call anything there? I'm not quite sure. No, I don't think so.
And be sure to join us on Saturday at 1 p.m. as your Wildcats battle number 12, UNLV.
Yes, remember, Wildcat fans, UNLV comes to town, one of the other best teams in the West in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Next Saturday at 1 p.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. Unusual game times for us, so please come out and support your hometown hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. As Anthony Cusinelli dipsy-doodled around a defenseman, did everything but put the puck in the net. You know, if there's one thing I would say that we need to get going here a little bit, Jackson, is Anthony Cusinelli needs to start putting the puck in the net.
Yeah, he just can't seem to buy one. He hit a couple posts yesterday. I mean, excellent breakaway right there. I mean, he's one of those players where it will come, but for so far in this semester, he's having a difficult time getting the puck in the net.
Bailey Marshall with 2 goals, his line mate, the leading scorer for Arizona 2 tonight. There's a hard shot that just goes wide by Wes Freiberg. Yeah, Cusinelli's done a lot of good things in these 2 games, but no goals. He had a bit of a slow start to start the first semester, and then really came on as he got used to playing with Justin Plumhoff and Bailey Marshall. They're obviously the #1 line for Arizona. Plumhoff with the goal here tonight, Marshall with 2. As you said, it will come to Anthony Cusinelli, and he has a knack for scoring really big goals at the time you need them. So he's a go-to guy. And it's interesting to see those two play together, Bailey Marshall and Anthony Cusinelli. They complement each other so well. I wouldn't be surprised if both of those players, as the Cats try to move in, play comes out. Here comes a 2-on-1 possibility for Grand Canyon. They're knocked off the puck. Now they shouldn't, that's not a penalty. There's a whistle and they're going to send a Cat to the box there. But that was not a slashing penalty.
No, I think that might be one of those calls, you know, just try to settle everything down. We talk about that unintentional evening out of calls that, you know, you talk to refs, they'll say they do it, but it's not intentional. That might be a factor that led to that penalty.
Yeah, Justin Plumhoff goes to the box. That was just, he just bumped his man off the puck. That was just a good defensive play.
Plumhoff, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 11 minutes, 42 seconds.
Yeah, that'll certainly calm things down, but yeah, that was just a good play. He just knocked the Antelope off the puck. He was breaking into the Arizona zone. But Grand Canyon will go on the power play. Yeah, this will certainly calm things down. When you have the power play opportunities, you tend to concentrate on moving the puck and trying to score a goal rather than getting even with folks. And So in a game that's out of hand like this can do a lot to keep both teams focused. Now that said, I mean, and we say this many times, our position for the press box here is a lot different than a referee in the action, a lot closer to it, and perhaps there was a slash that we did not see. So I don't mean to second guess the referee there. He saw a penalty and he called it. Play on in the Arizona end of the ice on the power play for the Antelopes. The puck squirts wide, and Grand Canyon is not able to keep the puck in the zone. They'll have to regroup. You know, once again, from now on, we'll be playing Grand Canyon as an ACHA Division I opponent. Competition's going to get better and better between these two schools. And the more quality Arizona hockey teams we have, the better it's going to be for the sport in the state of Arizona. Arizona State has traditionally had a very strong ACHA program. In the last 15 years, before that, Arizona had like a decade. I remember about a decade without Arizona losing a game to Arizona State. Well, that ended about 20 years ago, and they've had some really, really, really good hockey teams since then, winning an ACHA championship. NAU has a good tradition in the ACHA, and we need to get the Lumberjacks back to Division I in the ACHA. That would be good for hockey in Arizona. And so this is good that Grand Canyon will be in Division I in the ACHA. Well, I'd love to see all these teams, get NAU in Division I. Here's going to be a breakaway for Arizona. In all alone is Bailey Marshall. Boy, Bailey Marshall, top scorer for Arizona, and he tried kind of a vanilla shot there down low, but it wasn't far enough to the post to beat Lepper. Yeah, if we can get, if Northern Arizona University goes to Division I, or Division I in the ACHA, it would be a great division to have ASU, NAU, Grand Canyon, Arizona all in playing in the same league. That'd be great for the sport in Arizona.
Yeah, it makes for some good rivalries and some good tournaments. So, it's always good for me to see, I'm from Arizona. It's so good to see the sport just continuously grow. And for GCU to make that jump to Division I is just awesome for the sport here.
So they proved they can compete last night, beating Arizona 4-2. This is more what you would expect between these two organizations as they stand right now, though. So Arizona's way offside there. They're going to have to get out of the zone. 10-2 for Arizona with 5 minutes to go in the game. 5:10 to go in the game. No scoring in this third period as the Cats pick off the puck. That's Jake Dickinson with it. Goes down low, tries to feed it in front. Still down behind the net. Back to Manny Rowe. Over to the far side to Keelan Ulnick. And we've got a whistle because Antelope went down in front, and I think Jake Dickinson's going to go to the box. This is going to probably be, it's going to be a roughing on Jake Dickinson. So with 4:52, this will really tamp down things because Grand Canyon will have a power play for the next 2 minutes, just 4:52 to go in the game. Now we won't do our usual interviews at center ice with the coach and the player of the game here tonight. We'll do a quick post-game wrap-up right here in the press box.
Jake Dickinson, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 15 minutes, 8 seconds in the third period.
So Grand Canyon hopes to get one more chance perhaps at a goal, but Chris Westland comes away with the puck. Is he going to get a shot off? He does, but he didn't have much of an angle there, and it goes wide. He stands in front, and the puck comes to him. He shoots and scores! Chris Westland with the hat trick! Chris Westland standing in front, and the puck finds his stick. Chris Westland with the first goal, the 8th goal, and the 11th goal. It's a hattie for Chris Westland. Congratulations. Well, I see some fans, they started like they were going to throw their hats out on the ice, and then they thought, you know, this is a really nice hat. I'm going to keep the hat. You know, in college hockey, hat tricks are not all that common.
Give it to number 12, Chris Westland. The assist goes to number 27, Max Meyer. That is Westland from Meyer. Time of your Wildcat shorthanded goal, 15 minutes, 39 seconds in the third period.
He shoots, he scores. Not only is it a hat trick for Chris Westland, but it's a shorty. It's a short-handed goal. That's pretty much the cherry on top of this Sunday for Arizona. No, they didn't score 15 like they did last year in their rubber match against Grand Canyon. But right now it's 11-2. Cat's not able to clear the zone. Grand Canyon's still on the power play. .25 seconds to go in that power play for the Antelope. Just 3:17 to go in the game. Arizona leads 11-2, and they're going to break out to center ice with the puck. This should do it for the rest of the power play as Ahuja just throws it in on net and goes in and follows the puck. Has a little talk with his Grand Canyon opponent, but skates away. Yes, I get the idea that Sahil Ahuja is feeling a little more confident being on ice. When he had his first shift, he fell down a little bit. You could tell he was nervous. A little bit of attitude coming from Ahuja here late in this game. A freshman playing his first game. I hope it's not his last and that we see more of Sahil Ahuja. Also with a goal in his very first game. That's just fabulous.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, for a guy like him who's clearly been working at practice and everything so hard, for him to, you know, shake off those jitters of playing in your first game, get your first goal, you know, that'll be really beneficial in his next few games.
Well, that's what Arizona wanted to accomplish in these two games. They didn't accomplish much except get themselves really upset in the first game because they were upset 4-2 by Grand Canyon. They are flying now and going to be in a much better frame of mind to come back to practice this week and get ready for UNLV. These two programs, UNLV and Arizona, are real rivals in the sense that they're both trying to build towards being consistent top 10 teams again. UNLV's only been around for a couple years. Arizona has a national championship and has been a number of Final Fours and championship games. But they're trying to rebuild to that level. UNLV very quickly has gotten to championship level. This is going to be a whale of a series next weekend here. Saturday at 1, Sunday at 4. Here at the Tucson Arena. That's the UNLV running Rebels. We'll have to see if they call them the Skating Rebels. So I think the University of Utah called themselves the Skating Utes. Another regional rival that would be wonderful to have in the same league with Arizona, University of Utah.
Yeah, I mean, the more potential rivalries that this team can build, I think it's just better for the sport in Arizona, you know, in this part of the country to just get hockey growing in the desert. I think it's great, and I'm excited for that matchup between Arizona and UNLV next weekend.
So 1:20 to go in the game. Immediately following the game, I'll do a quick post-game wrap-up here in the press box, so stick with us. I don't think this is going to escalate into any kind of nasty situation here. Both teams seem pretty content to just play ice hockey here late in this game. It's long been decided, 11-2 for the Cats. And I think that's good news. You know, Arizona can't stand any more injuries. They can't stand to lose players to suspensions. There's a nice glove save there by Gabe Klepper. He saw it all the way and made a nice save.
And I'm interested to see the final shot totals of this game because I think Gabe Lepper, he's played a decent game, but he's faced a lot of rubber here tonight.
Yeah, he sure has. I mean, there were 26 shots in the second period alone for Arizona. A lot of teams at the college level don't generate that many shots in an entire game. There's an Arizona player who was tripped, taken down to the ice. The referee just like he said, let's move this along into the last minute of the game. I don't see Grand Canyon yucking it up like they did last night. It'd be interesting to see what kind of effect this has on their team with that big victory last night. And then a little bit, I think a little dose of reality here tonight for them.
Yeah, I think it, that's great for them in their season to win that game last night, but I think tonight it's going to be a character-building game where they're going to have to reflect on and say, hey, next year when we're playing Division I, we can't let that happen.
Yeah. Down to the last 14 seconds of the game. Arizona's going to win. Grand Canyon breaks up the ice one last time. Arizona's going to pick that off, and that's going to be the game. And that's it. Arizona avenges last night's loss with an 11-2 victory.
Shots on goal in the third period. For Grand Canyon 2, for Arizona 17. For the game, the Antelopes with 20 shots on goal, the Wildcats with 57 shots on goal. The final score here at the Tucson Convention Center Arena, it is your Arizona Wildcats 11, Grand Canyon 2.
So stick around. We're going to go to our post-game report in just a moment.
We have the Pucks and Paws game here at the TCC Arena. So head on out as the Wildcats take on UNLV. So don't forget, come on out here as the Wildcats face down the... Thanks a lot for coming out and have a safe drive home.
So that'll do it here in the Tucson Arena. The University of Arizona avenges last night's loss 4-2 to Grand Canyon with an 11-2 victory here tonight. Last year it was almost the same story. 15-goal outburst by Arizona in the second game. Tonight, Arizona with 11. Let's go down who didn't score in this game for Arizona. But Sahil Ahuja in his first game as an Arizona Wildcat scores. Bailey Marshall with 2 goals. Chris Westland with the hat trick, 3 goals. Cully Olson with a goal and a couple assists. Justin Plumhoff with a goal. Keelan Ulnick, Justin Dungy, and Kyle Wade scored for Arizona. Declan Carter and Nick Marolda scored for Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon drops to 11-10-3 on the year. Arizona improves to 11-4 on the year. And more importantly, it's really gotten itself in much better shape for a good week of practice to get ready for UNLV. Well, it'll come to the Tucson Arena next Saturday and Sunday here at the Tucson Arena. So we'll have the broadcast starting 10 minutes before puck drop, so 12:50 on Saturday and 3:50 on Sunday here on our YouTube channel. And we'll have the rest of the Arizona Hockey media team back as well for these games and the rest of the season. So our regular Twitter feed, our regular Facebook feed, and all the Facebook live video and look-ins and the rest that we do for University of Arizona Hockey. So that'll wrap it up here. We hope to see you here next Saturday for Jackson Peters and the entire University of Arizona Hockey media crew. I'm Timothy Gasson. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here at the Tucson Arena, and you will be watching University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey.
Thank you for watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. Visit our website at ArizonaWildcatHockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.